name is Andrew Milan. Join me. It's the two Dougs, Doug Nelson and Doug Ashenbaugh. And guys, looks like we're having another thrilling week of high school football here in the region.
Yeah, we got some good games online tonight, and we got perfect weather for it. So,
yes.
With the draw coming up in about a week and a half, it's winding down, and coaches are gearing up.
Yeah, a couple top 10 matchups. Obviously, they're going to be exciting. We got, Andrean down, Bishop Chattar. That's a good one and close one that's currently going on. I mean, the slate of games is awesome, especially in the screen. We got video everywhere. We got millions of games popped up. It's a great night for football.
Yeah, it feels like we should have some pizza and beer the way that we're all set up down here. But we got some really exciting games on the Region Sports Network tonight. We got Wheeler and Calumet going up against one another. Chesterton and Lake Central. Then Valpo and Maryville, that is audio only. And then Michigan City and Portage. And right now it looks like Wheeler and Calumet going to be kicking off very soon, looking at the starting lineups there. But guys, I have to ask you a question. Of all the games going on tonight, which one are you the most excited to watch?
I'm really liking the Maryville game. I think they're going to be gearing up at the right time of the year. I think that they've been right there. The Portage Michigan City game's intriguing. We've talked about it, Brandon and I, about how they're playing for that middle tier of the DAC, and the Crown Point's in another planet right now, so
yes.
No one's catching them. But it's about getting ready for the postseason.
No, I would agree. I think the one that I'm really keeping an eye on is the Hanover Central versus Hobart game. Willie Shear's back. He came back in last week in the second half, and I was calling that game. And I can tell you, it was the whole atmosphere, that culture, that team just totally shifted when they were going against Andrean, and obviously he led them to an overtime win. Bringing that, Willie Shear back in the backfield, having that explosive power and speed that he brings to that Hobart Bricky offense versus, Hanover Central, number 2, that we got him at. I mean, it's a top 10 matchup. You got a very good defense, very good offense with Hanover, but that Willie Shear factor is in full effect now that he's back for the Hobart Bricky. That's going to be a very fun game to keep an eye on, too, as well.
Yeah, those are two teams that are currently undefeated in their conference. So it could be the conference championship tonight a few weeks early. And as you said, Doug, those are two teams battling for number 2.
Yeah.
And Crown Point, they got LaPorte tonight. LaPorte has not won a game all year. Crown Point, on the other hand, has not lost a regular season game in almost 3 years. So they, as you said, are another planet, and looks like they could be making their way to another state championship. Looks like the coin toss is going on for Wheeler and Calumet. That should be a fun game, too. Wheeler, they love to air the ball out. And Calumet, they're 4-2. They've actually had a really good season. I know Justin Cole, who's producing and doing a great job so far, he's pumped up. And let's see if Calumet can get the win over Wheeler tonight. Hopefully we can get the audio up or the visuals up on Chesterton and Lake Central. But there you go. Yeah, there's a first look inside of Calumet. And as you said, Doug, it's beautiful outside. Walking in, I was pretty ecstatic. I know there's a couple of games I did was like 80, 90 degrees, and it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, the sun's beating down on you, but the leaves are changing. You got that nice cool breeze, and it's kind of campfire time. So what a great night for high school football, and it's gonna be a good one.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I know going back to my playing days, when it was 80, 90 degrees, you were praying for this kind of weather. Give me the 50s and 60s. Give me some cool breeze. You're exactly right. It's amazing out. It's dry. Obviously, all these region schools have turf nowadays, so the play, the fields are in great condition here. But again, this is going to be some exciting football tonight, and possibly, like you said, conference championship winner could be decided here tonight. How it's shaped up. So.
Then you played for Griffiths, so of course those black jerseys were not fun on those 80, 90 degree days.
They sure were. Yeah, that was not fun at all.
Yeah, Coach Radke wasn't going to go easy on you either.
No. The only good thing about it is they were the old school mesh ones that would go right up your waistline, so that helped a little bit versus having to tuck them in.
So Calumet's going to start with the ball. They took it across the 35, going up against number 6 Wheeler on Ennigan Berg RSN ratings.
I really like Wheeler. I think they're playing right at the right. They've won 4 in a row. They're undefeated in conference play. They had a tough non-conference slate early on with Hanover and KV, and kind of took their licks. But that's how you find out how good you are. You got to get better, and and it's kind of like Andrean. I really love their non-conference schedule, and I think they're going to make some noise in the postseason at the 2A level.
Yeah, speaking about Andrean, the first score update, they're up 7-0 already against Bishop Chatard, so that was quick. And we didn't think they were going to start that early, but it made sense that you had a team coming up from Indianapolis, one of the best teams also.
Well,
because they've won a couple of state championships in their time. A lot of 3A titles for Bishop Chatard.
Yeah, back-to-back state champions, and they had to bump up to 3A, I believe, or 4, or wherever they. I don't even know, but it just.
I believe they got bumped up to 4A because I think I saw a lot of 3A titles for them. So
yeah,
it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, they did. No, you're absolutely right. That's one of the most rich traditional pride football teams in the state of Indiana. And again, Doug, like you were just talking about, that non-conference schedule for Andrean sets them up for a successful conference and postseason, as well as playing these big boys, what people call it, right? These Indianapolis teams, right? That have a lot of state championships. So Andrean is definitely hitting their up the mountain. You want to say? I don't think they've peaked yet, which is very impressive. And I think that's going to come in playoff time. But to go up 7-0 real quick on them is very impressive for the Andrean 59ers.
I'll tell you who I was impressed with is watching Jimmy Finley.
That's what I was going to say.
Their 3-star corner. That kid, I was watching his highlights against Valpo, and he is all over the place, whether it be a wide receiver or a corner. He's making the big plays. He can be the spark plug for that team.
I saw he got a couple Division I offers, and I think he's a track star too as well. I believe.
Yes,
so.
He's committed to Northern Illinois.
Yeah, he's got some options.
So I know he was really pumped up when they beat Notre Dame. Me, not so much. Handoff, and it looks like Calumet's going to get the first down. For Wheeler, they're a non-traditional team. They like to throw the ball a lot, spread offense, and usually around this area it's still, win on the ground. Wheeler, they're going the opposite way and playing the very traditional football, or nowadays, the modern day, of we got to throw to win.
Well, Doug, it changed from your days.
Yeah, it was ground and pound when I was playing. That was it, like you were saying.
You had like 2-hour games, man. The clock was running, and now they like to throw it around on this turf, and it's a lot different.
When I was playing, I think I can count on both hands how many times we threw it all 4 of my years I was playing there. Now, like you were saying, it's really getting in and gunslinging it out there. But it's exciting to watch. These new formations, these motions they send. I mean, it makes it tough for the defenses, too, as well, of, what's coming. Now these coaches can kind of spread this field out and really, really open up if you want to hit the inside run still. But some of the stuff you see, you're just like, wow, where did that come from? Who thought of that?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
But I feel like for recruits in this part of the state, that's going to help them out because they can go right into college and play their same sort of offense that they're playing out there. And look at Noah Ehrlich, the Crown Point quarterback. He's going to Miami of Ohio, and a lot of other kids going to Northern Illinois that I've heard. And even Michigan City has the one kid going to Kansas.
Right.
I believe I'm blanking on his name.
I don't know it off the top of my head, but they've got talent out there. And you mentioned the kid,
Adrian Holly,
and the kid that just went to Syracuse, correct? The running back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not great with names.
Hart.
Yes.
Hart.
Yeah,
Yes. That's the
Sorry,
one.
we're not doing a very good job there, but
well, there's been so many though.
I know.
Like you were alluding to what you were.
You got Kenneth. What was Kenneth Grant, right? Went from Maryville.
Came from Maryville.
Nice play action pass right there for Calumet to flip fields. They're getting really close to the red zone of Wheeler.
I'll tell you what, Calumet's got a huge offensive line.
Very big.
Did you see those guys? Look at their end here. Look at the tackle.
Very big.
Number 71. That play action though, I mean, not to change subject, but it starts with the run.
Exactly. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It starts with the tight end. If I was to go in coach, I would use my tight end. I'd run it, control it. Those are like body shots. We mentioned that like every Friday night. And then you soften up that secondary, and you get those one-on-one situations.
Yeah, and they're running a little bit of a hurry up too as well, which is not. Wheeler can't get settled in on that defense, and that's why they're seeing some success too as well. That hurry up offense, you see a lot more of it. You see those kind of sugar huddle styles that are here, in high school nowadays. But it's very highly effective, very successful, and defense can't make adjustments, and you can start marching down the field, which we're seeing here with Calumet.
Another thing is I like in some aspects I like it, but how the professional game trickles down, don't it?
Oh yeah,
it goes from the college game, and then the high school people try to emulate the college game, and in some ways it's good.
Yeah,
I think.
Another score update: Andrean's up 14-0.
Oh
Bishop
boy!
Chatard. And they are just starting the second quarter. Well, it looks like Wheeler's stepping up on defense. A couple of stops going to make it 3rd and long for Calumet. 3rd and 9 coming up. So, guys, I got a question. What are you going to run here early on in the game on 3rd and 9? You've sustained a pretty long drive, almost 4.5 minutes. What's it going to take to get the first down here?
Well, they're out on the 30, so it might be 4-down territory anyway. I don't, most guys in high school don't have a field goal kicker that can kick it 50 yards.
No,
not that that's the pros now, but so it might be a little draw, maybe a little swing pass. Oh, the play action. They brought the heat.
Wow.
Brought the heat on that. Yeah, wow.
Came right off the edge, brought him down. He held on to
That's
it
a
for
good
little
sized
while.
young man there, number
Yeah,
7.
yeah, he's a big boy. I mean, Doug, you're right, though. I think I would have liked to seen some kind of try to get 4 to 5 yards.
Yeah,
on
cut it in
that-
half,
on
right?
that third
Cut,
down. Yeah.
make 4th down manageable.
Yes, exactly. Now, obviously, you lost a couple yardage. Now it's going to 4th and 12. It's less manageable. And now, 4th down territory, you're also giving Wheeler the ball if you don't get it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good field position.
Yeah, the playbook doesn't have too many 4th and 15 plays.
No, don't really practice that a whole lot.
No.
I know if I was playing Madden, it'd be 4 verts.
Yeah, 4 verts.
Hopefully that works.
Run
I'll
a
tell you
slant.
one thing is that, they brought the heat here. I would look for a screen.
There you go.
Right here.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're bringing some heat. They know it's coming. You can see the linebackers coming up. It might not be a bad idea. And they tried to set it up. Actually, if you were looking at it, they did try to set that up.
Well, that linebacker came out of nowhere and gave him no time to get rid of it. So Wheeler standing tall on defense. Looks like we're going to get ourselves a bit of a replay. Yeah, right there.
That was a screen set.
Yeah.
He got blown up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's hard to get the screen off when you're
When you're laying on your back.
Wheeler Bearcat in your face. So
Yeah.
Wheeler's going to get the ball about midfield after Calumet got to their 30. Yeah, they're starting at I would say that's the 46.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Good,
Yeah.
very good field position.
They'll take that all day, won't they?
Yeah, defense coming up real big. I mean, they were down to the 29, 30-yard line?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the matter of, they lost 16 yards in 2 plays.
The bend but don't
That's-
break kind of
yeah.
idea. Try and get outside.
That was some mean running, but
Yeah.
that was
Did a great
determined
job
by
of cutting
Calumet.
it back in.
Yeah.
The defense contained him, cut the edge. They had to put his foot down and turn it upfield. Good pursuit there. Number 71 going both ways.
Both ways. I mean, same. Look at the
He's a
D-line.
horse.
Yeah,
He is a horse.
He does not cheat when he gets into the weight room, does he?
No, not at all.
A score update in the Battle of the Bridge. Highland already up 7-0 on Munster. 2 teams that are 1-5 heading into today.
And both teams are struggling. Munster went about 4 weeks
It was
without
4 weeks
scoring
in
a
a
touchdown.
row, and then they blew out. I think they just held on to beating.
They beat Chicago, I believe.
I think they blew them out.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
A little look at you go.
Oh wow!
They're gonna keep it simple. Keep it on the ground.
That was a nice counter with a double pull kind of that came from the backside. It was a lot of movement in the backfield.
A lot of sealing.
Yeah,
right here. Look
yeah,
at
a lot of
replay.
movement, a lot of linemen pulling.
A lot of pulling, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but when you can get those things rolling like that, it confuses the defense. They don't know who they're following. Right? You're supposed to kind of keep an eye on the guard, but when you got counter left coming back right, guard and tackle pulling, that's tough to defend.
I think the Calumet coach Charles Sallery is doing a great job there. He's in his second year, but he's kind of bounced around a little bit and worked with Phil Mason a little bit in Michigan City. But
Yes.
I work with his wife out at South Central. He does a good job. I think he's got a bright future in front of him.
It looks like a Wildcat formation paid off for Wheeler. They're running right down Calumet's throat right now.
It's a numbers game too. You got, like you said, you got guys playing both ways. It's a nice evening, but you're going to wear down.
You're still going to wear down. You're absolutely right. And what I like about that Wildcat formation, though, is you have the most amount of lead blockers, too, as well, as you can see. That quarterback now, is not handing the ball off. You got 2 guys out, not blocking. They sent 2 lead backs in that gap and obviously chunked it for about 12, 13 yards.
Another Wildcat.
Little keeper. Nice job. Nice pursuit there by the Calumet defense.
Yeah, and I think that's where Wheeler is going to struggle a little bit. I don't know if they're going to be able to match that speed on that edge.
On the perimeter,
with
yeah.
Calumet on that. I think their success is going to be kind of in between the tackles, up the gut. And I wouldn't be shocked if they go back to it. But Calumet's perimeter, their DBs, their corners, their DNs are very, very fast, and they know how to set the edge.
Yeah, their second level, they're avoiding blocks and getting to the ball quick.
Wheeler
Second and
4-2
long.
heading into this one. Haven't seen a pass yet.
Why mess with it? That's what we're talking about. If it works, why? If it
Yeah.
works, there's your play action. Maybe that's why we haven't seen a pass.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, some very good coverage there by Calumet.
There's a flag though.
It almost looked. I was going to say holding. It looked like there was some holding there from the back coming out with that backer coming in.
They were waiting for the call. Boone Grover at 6-0 on Whiting. And it looks like Morton just coughed the ball on the goal line. So Central recovered. And they're going to start from their own 1.
Boone Grove's another team.
Yeah.
They play a tough non-conference schedule, and I think they're rounding into form. I think that sectional 33 and 2A, that's tough.
Yes.
You got Andrean, you have Wheeler. Those are, you want to talk about rivalry, Boone Grove Wheeler. Those guys do not like each other, but that's a coin flip right now. I think Andrean will come out on top of that sectional, but Wheeler's got something to say about that.
Another pass coming up for Wheeler. Oh no, the camera!
We'll never know.
That was the guess. It looked like it was getting overthrown.
Well, we haven't seen any updates from it, so not sure what happened there. Oh, we're back, and it says third down.
2nd and 17.
Yeah. So again, both sides of the ball here when it came to they got some momentum, and now the defense is stepping up. 2nd and 17, long, third downs and whatnot. The defense is on both sides, like you said, Doug. Bend don't break kind of mentality so far.
I think you got to run the football. That's what got you here.
I agree.
I know you get caught up with third in the distance, but you got to. Again, that's why I'm here and they're there. But he dropped it. Maybe heard some footsteps across the middle there.
Yeah, you can tell, though, a little bit Wheeler's out of that element when they're throwing the ball, right? There's a lot of pressure, a lot of QB, getting rushed. He's throwing some with guys in his face. You can tell they're out of their element, so I do agree. Get back to that run. Yeah. Obviously not on 4th and 17, but...
Well, not on 4th. Maybe third down, I might have thought about it. Or that screenplay you mentioned. But now you're here. Now you're like in no man's land.
Yes.
Are you going to pooch punt it and try to bury him? I mean,
that's not a bad idea.
Throw it up to the flag. Throw it up. Maybe hope for a pass interference. I don't. What do you do here?
Yeah, that's Caleb Klimchak, the quarterback. At 4th and 17 pressure, he's staying up.
He's coming from behind.
Oh no! You got rid of it, but it's not going to go anywhere.
There you go.
Wow, back-to-back defensive stands. You got to appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I think you keep the ball on the ground there.
I agree.
That's what got you there.
I agree.
They look like Cal wasn't prepared for it, and then you look at the stats and you know why they weren't prepared for it. Klimchak has over 1,360 yards heading into today.
Right.
But it just looks like the pressure in the pocket just collapsing and forcing him to make quicker decisions. New Prairie's up 14-7 on Mishawaka, looking at the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. Trying to keep up with what's going on. There's so many games and so many good ones.
Yeah, I think
keeping tabs on.
I think that Chesterton Lake Central game will be a low-scoring game. I think both of them are playing very well defensively, but very well-coached teams. Coach Koulianos and Coach Peterson, they do a great job, and I think that's going to be a nail-biter down to the end.
But again, I'm interested in, and we're only having audio on it, is Chesterton LC, because Chesterton is out without their starting quarterback.
Yeah. Brady McCormick is out.
Yeah, and they've had some really close games since then.
Well, I'll tell you, we did the Valpo-Chesterton game, and Chesterton, they had it.
Yeah.
They had every chance to win that game.
I mean, without their starting quarterback, it came down to Valpo winning on the Philly special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Yeah. Right.
And Valpo was without their number one receiver, Julian Stokes, who was out with a hamstring.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
And he was very, very good. He's quite the weapon, but... what a dogfight that was.
Yeah, and Valpo's offense, it looks like from what I saw, it's really slowed down between Hosick and Berta.
Yeah.
Berta hasn't ran for over 100 yards since week 2.
Well, I think
shocking.
What was shocking to me, Andrew, was the volume. I think by what we've seen, I think he's, if not the best running back, the top 1 or 2 guys in the conference.
Yes.
Give him the ball, and then it's like, okay, they're gonna. They're resting him for the postseason possibly because as we mentioned, Crown Point's got the conference.
Yeah.
But they have tools. They do. The guy who caught the Philly special was someone, or who really helped him was Gage Finley, who helped him in a couple big third down plays in the last couple drives.
Yeah, and I think when I saw Kellen Hosick play against Michigan City, he was really stepping up and getting out of his shell. It was his 3rd start or 4th start of the year. It looks like he's kind of slowed down in production the last couple of weeks, but that's tough when you have 2 really good defenses in Chesterton and Crown Point.
Yeah, that's. I don't think anybody's going to look real good against those teams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's what Chesterton's really built on right now is their defense going to have them to win their game, keep the ball on the ground, and win ugly.
I think they try to keep it close, and then they try to make a move there at the end.
Yeah, their goal is to beat you 7-3.
Yeah, and they had a 3rd down play, and Mike and I were talking about, and there was a 4th down play, like on their own 40, but they punted and gave the ball back to Valpo, and they came down and scored. And we were debating, do you go for it? So it really didn't matter anyway because they scored after they punted.
And winning ugly is still winning. Either way.
Winning ugly is still winning.
They'll take it. Absolutely.
Breakfast tastes a little better the next day after a W. The bus ride home is not too bad after that.
Calumet right now too, as well, having some very good success on the ground game.
Yeah, they're spreading it out too.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like once they get in their own field, both teams are then starting to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, you spoke it into existence. But at least they completed it.
Yeah.
It wasn't for a whole lot, but I guess it was only 2nd and 5, so it's close to the first down marker.
It's close.
But you start getting close to that red zone, and the field shrinks.
It does,
doesn't it? And
it does.
Those routes are not necessarily open, so I think you got to go back to the ground.
I agree.
That's got to be your bread and butter.
Boone Grove scored. They're up 14-0. And Bishop Chatard scored. It is 14-6.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I missed the extra point or not, but they did score a touchdown. So they've cut the Andrean lead almost in half.
Yeah.
Starting to wake up. Obviously, last week, Andrean was up pretty good on Hobart. Willie Shearer came back. So this is where Andrean needs to take that step forward, though, and not give up these leads. You got to stay in this ball game. Don't give this up. Bishop Chatard's obviously, waking up a little bit here. But keep your foot in the ground, keep the gas pedal going.
Yeah, you talk about the talent in that Indy area.
Yeah,
it's a whole nother world. I mean,
yes.
that's one of the toughest conferences down there. That Metropolitan Conference, I believe it's called. It's unbelievable.
Circle City's also down there. That's
it's ridiculous. It's a small college down there.
It really is.
It's unbelievable.
Well, I even saw some of that talent as someone that went to Butler and did some games down there.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how some of those talents and athletes that they have down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just the same way in basketball, we saw it. Boys and girls. It was absurd.
I mean, they just had Xavier Booker come out of Cathedral and go to Michigan State as a big man, and you know how they like their big men up at Michigan State and those Spartans.
Yeah. Izzo's not going to take a slouch.
No, he's not.
No.
We got Chesterton up 3-0.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that Hobart missed a field goal against Hanover Central. They had a chance to take the lead. It looks like it was wide left, so Hanover Central is going to get the ball on their side of the field. But you can't make mistakes like that against a team that won your conference championship a year ago. I mean, Hobart shared the title for a few years, but Hanover Central is the first sole winner in quite some time.
Yeah, you got to seize those opportunities for sure, taking the lead, and especially it shifts that momentum right back over now to Hanover Central here on.
And I think but I do think that game being played in Hobart does help.
It does.
That's worth maybe 3 or 4 points.
I agree. I do agree with that.
So it is 14-6. Did see the score update for Bishop Chatard and Andrean. They did not get the extra point.
Those extra points add up.
They add up. They sure do.
Special teams.
Well, it looks like that's going to be the end of the first quarter for Wheeler and Calumet. So while we're doing that, we're looking at the Strag and Van Til hometown scoreboard. A lot of games to look at tonight. And then another score update, Chesterton up 3-0 on Lake Central. That's a game that's on the Region Sports Network right now. Let's take a look in and put the audio up so you guys can listen to what's going on over at LC.
Are incredible. That is number 0, Cole Richards, who was shaken up on the play, but thankfully gets back on his feet, walks off. But yeah, it's an ever-changing game, and who knows, it could always trickle to. Of course, obviously they still do the typical kickoff in the collegiate level, and it could trickle down all the way to high school. This game is changing by the season, it seems like. And of course, always for the health and safety of the kids, because that's what comes first. Lake Central now will start on the 22:38 to go here in the first quarter. Man in motion for Lake Central. Going to be a handoff. That'll be number 15 going up the left side. A gain of about 8 with lays the boom there. Good run there to start Lake Central off. That is, I believe, that number 15, if I'm correct. I believe that was number 15, Xavier Welty, senior.
Nice drive by the wideout. Didn't get the number there, but stayed on his block. Allowed him to turn the corner there and get some good positive yardage for a first down on a first down.
I question that because he's listed as a defensive back here on the roster. But obviously they want to maybe put him on offense and get the ball in his hands. Now a 2nd and 2 for Lake Central. High snap there for Reddick. Going to be a pump and go. Looking to throw it deep. Has a man, but underthrown ball. Had to come back for it. Kind of a bang-bang play. Could be one of those plays where, again, if a ball's underthrown, it's a tough position for a DB. But it's darned if you do, darned if you don't. If you throw the flag, they're going to let that one go here.
Well, that pass was set up very nicely as he looked and pumped like he was throwing the ball out to the flat. Another quick one, and quickly turned it upfield. Might have outrun his arm there a little bit, though.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a breakdown in the start. Again, a pump and go. Looked to, sell the smoke screen, smell to kind of sell that. Then obviously find someone down the. As Cam Reddick's going to keep this himself on the 3rd and short, and he's going to pick that up. He's a tough runner, but obviously, of course, he had a guy open. That could be a play that they could maybe work in throughout the game. But
I'm sure there's a red check mark against that, saying we're going to go back to that.
No doubt about it. But that's going to be a first down there for Lake Central. Getting Cam Reddick calling his number there, not afraid to do it. Picks up a big first down on 3rd and about 2 there.
This is big for Calumet here.
Blair hands it to Hillard. None of the blocks really set up on that run. Wheeler, the D-line, able to crash on that play and get him down for no gain.
Looked like there might have been a little bit of miscommunication on the front 5 because 2 of the guys that were on the defense tackle were in the secondary out of nowhere. So I wonder if they just had a miscommunication on who was maintaining the block and going for the linebacker, or just a good play by the defensive tackle.
They did say that Hillard dove forward for 2 yards. The scoreboard says 2nd and 8. 1 minute down in quarter number 2. Calumet looking to get on the board first. They hand it to Hillard, and Wheeler is in the backfield. Coming in off the edge for the TFL was Connor Welch again. We've called his name a lot so far. He has been everywhere. And now it'll be 3rd and 9.
I mean, Connor Welch has been all over the field for the defense. Every time he's blitzing, he's able to guess that count just by a hair to where he gets an advantage on those offensive linemen. I mean, that's hard to do, especially because the offensive line knows what the snap count is.
3rd and goal from the 9 upcoming. You got to imagine Calumet's going to go through the air. They will. Player looking far side. It's caught at the goal line, and into the end zone is Javon Lawrence for a Warrior touchdown.
And I mean, what good blocking by the.
And we are back in the RSN zone, and it looks like we're watching that replay with Yakety Sax in the background. As it was 3rd and goal, and Calumet completed it on what looks like a comeback route, and they're on the board first. That's huge.
That was good. That was a great spot, great execution, I thought.
It was. Obviously, they had a lot of success on that drive with running the ball, and they hit the play action to kind of seal the deal there, even though it was a short field. But that quick comeback routes are very tough to defend, too, as well, especially when you're biting on play action.
Going for 2.
And they got it. Going with number 2 on what looked like a jet sweep, and Calumet, was that a replay? Oh, no, here's the replay. Okay.
Yeah. And I like that. I like that call, though.
I like the jet sweep.
I really do like that call. I like going up for 8. You just scored for the very first, of the game. You get the momentum. Then you pound in a 2-point conversion on top of it, telling them, hey, even if you score and don't go for it, you're still going to be down 1. I like that call.
I do.
And is that going to put Wheeler on upset watch? I know it's early. It's only the 2nd quarter, but that's a team that was on Ennigenberg Region Sports Network rankings, and they're down 8-0, and they got down the field, and they went to their bread and butter, which is their pass game, and they struggled to get it going.
That could be a high-scoring game.
Yes.
Both teams marched a little bit.
Hit the over in that game?
Yeah, take the over in that game. But but it could be a shootout with, as we've said, with perfect conditions out there tonight.
You're right, and again, I know they just threw a touchdown pass, but Calumet realized they're getting a lot of success on the ground game, and they stuck to it. They got down, they were able to score, and I think Wheeler's going to do the same and say, forget that passing stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to our run when we were getting 8 to 12 yards each time.
And they were right up the middle, not on the perimeter.
Yeah,
up
the middle,
between the tackles.
Morton's up 7-0 on Hammond Central. KV and Lowell, they're still scoreless. They're in their first quarter. Hobart and Hanover Central about to close out the first quarter, and there's no score there. That game's going to be a slugfest, and it looks like it's sticking to that script right now after one quarter of play with plenty to go.
That is two strong teams. That might be as good as the game there is in the state here tonight.
Wheeler with a nice return.
A little short kickoff, a little pooch kick there.
And that could be maybe a reason why they went for 2. Maybe they're struggling with field goals and extra points, so that could be a reason why. But some great field position here for Wheeler, exactly where you want to be after giving up a touchdown.
Yeah, they're like you said. I agree with you, Doug. I think they're going to pound it on the ground.
Yeah. I would hope. They had so much success on that.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to start just outside the 40, about the 42. I'm going to take a quick look to see if we can find a Maryville Valpo score. Right back to the pass game.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, what do we know?
Right, yeah. Man,
Armchair
late.
quarterbacks here, Doug.
Yeah, right. Hey, I could sound good, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not on the
Never
side.
never lost a game right here.
And I thought this was going to be a late hit that came in late, and that's big for Wheeler if this is going to go against them here.
Got to stay disciplined.
You have to, especially in your own side of the field. I mean, those are the penalties you got to limit and can't take place.
Especially after you just scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they're still talking about it.
I mean, I know it's a bang-bang play. Whistle's going. He's going down. It looks like it. It could be, you know, they're discussing, you know, is that kind of one of those, his momentum was already going, or, you know, was it a true
You got
hit?
Andy Simpson and his crew there. That's as good as a crew as there is. They call it face mask.
Face mask. And a personal foul.
And he doesn't know where the camera is.
So I missed the face mask. I saw the late hit, but they're going to offset here, and no harm, no foul, I guess. Oh, no, there's still going to be some kind of backing up. About a yard?
Lost about a yard there. Huh?
I don't know where the yard comes in on that one, but
After all is said and done. Too much math for a Friday night.
Yes.
I'm not seeing any update on Valpo and Maryville at the moment, and it's still 3-0 Chesterton. They just closed out the first quarter against Lake Central. Some really good games going on. We got one of them right now here on the RSNZONE. Calumet and Wheeler with the football. Calumet just went down the field, scored a touchdown on a pass, got the 2-point conversion, and Wheeler trying to respond.
Looks like Crown Point's up 7-0. I think they're going to score early and often here tonight.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, talk about a LaPorte team that has had a long season thus far.
Yeah.
Bishop Chatard scored a touchdown, so it's a 1-point game. 2:52 to go in the first half.
Yeah, this is rain drain. Like I was talking about, got to keep the foot on the gas, limit these mistakes. Some bad snaps that we saw too as well in that game. You know, you got to limit those now. You got to get a drive here.
Well, we saw it with Endrain earlier this year. Oh, there's a nice play there from Wheeler. They're inside the 10.
There it is. With the run, keep ground and pounding, get across the end zone.
Yeah, he's had a good night there, number 2 there.
Let's see what that play was. Yeah, it was just a handoff. He cut it back inside, found a hole, and ran across the red zone. Maybe just outside the 10, inside the 15. But again, yeah, they've been running the ball really well, which is not what most people in the region are accustomed to.
Yeah.
But they might go to it here.
Klimzak's a good-looking quarterback. He's a tall kid.
Very tall.
Right up the gut.
Yeah. I would hit that play one more time. And also, while we're waiting for that, too, as well, Michigan City on defense just had a massive stop against Portage on their 3-yard line. Portage could not get in and score, and Michigan City just took over where Portage could have went in and took the lead there in a very, very good game that we've talked about, obviously, earlier on, too, as well. You know, kind of a heavyweight fight right over here, and Portage just missed their opportunity.
Again, that is 2 teams that have been right there.
Yes.
Like one possession game. Like I said, I think Michigan City's lost 3 of their games, and Portage has lost 2 of their games by less than a touchdown.
Oh, did he get in?
Did he get in?
Looks like he's going to be short.
Yeah, he got spun around, so the ball wasn't in front of him.
Low man wins there. You got to get down.
So it's 3rd and goal. You're trying to respond after the Calumet touchdown. You're on the 1-yard line. For me, it sounds like a broken record because you guys have been saying the same thing. You got to run it again.
You got maybe sneak it, keeper, get some blocking, like you said, getting a wildcat.
Maybe get out of the I. Well, I would like to go out of the I formation here. Just power it in.
Their defense is very heavily overloaded on one side.
And
Wheeler identified that, right away from it, which was very, very smart there for the touchdown.
I don't understand sometimes, Coach, and Doug, you've done this more than me. But why, when you're that close to the end zone, why don't you get under the center?
I I could not tell you. I'm a very big fan. You get underneath center, you got a yard left with a push. You don't even have a nose guard either.
Yeah.
You have a clear path underneath. So, I mean, I agree. Obviously, they were successful.
Yeah.
And they scored a touchdown. But I'm with you, Doug, on that. Is get underneath the center, push forward. You're very, very short. You know the scoring.
Yeah, watching some football earlier this week, and they were talking about you get better downhill.
Of course.
From under center.
Yeah.
You know, your running back, it's more of a good head of steam going.
I'm with you on that too. I mean, you talk about shotgun snap versus under center snap too as well. A lot more margin of error on the shotgun snap for sure.
Even the pistol, I don't get it. Keep it simple, right? You're still dealing with teenage boys. I
agree.
Let's keep it simple.
I agree.
You got Crown Point's up 14-0 now.
That was quick. Griffith took a lead too as well, 7-0 over Westside. Westside's homecoming tonight too as well.
What about the Panthers? Undefeated.
Hey,
wow.
Just because it's my alma mater, but I called at the beginning of the season. I said this team is good. They're the underdogs. I think they're the biggest underdogs for the season, and they have been coming out underneath Mason with that passing attack, and they've been looking very good this year.
What have you noticed between the 3-7 season last year to the 6-0 season so far this year?
Biggest thing is culture and buy-in. Culture and buy-in is 100% it. Sure, they've gotten. I actually heard they got a couple basketball players that are some very good athletes that came out this year too, and yes, that helps. But now, Mason over there has a group of kids that are growing in numbers, and they're bought into what that program wants to do. They're bought into Phil Mason and what he's trying to do over there, and you've seen it very quickly turn around. Once you get that buy-in and you get that culture going, wins are going to follow.
And he's had a full year now too, right?
Yes.
He was kind of a late hire. Was it a kind of a late summer hire or no? Mason to Griffith.
I believe it was out of Michigan City.
Yeah.
But they went 3-7 last year. They're 6-0 this year.
Yeah.
Their defense also has been spectacular. I think I wrote down the stat. They've had 4 shutouts this year. Hi, everyone. Andrew Mild with Doug Nelson and Doug Aschenbaum. I guess I got to change my name to Doug Mild for the night.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of good games going on, trying to keep you updated. This is the RSN Zone. Only the second time that the Regis Sports Network has done this, and I'm starting to dig it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Did you see the Maryville Valpo score?
I did not.
Maryville's up 14-7 on Valpo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was quick too.
Yeah.
We were thinking that was going to be a defensive battle, but 21 points already up on the board before halftime.
Yeah, he was on the Strachan Van Til scoreboard there. But I'm really high on Maryville. I like the Pirates.
Yes.
I think that they're getting ready here for a pretty good run.
Yes.
Their defense is just so much older.
Yeah.
They have a lot of seniors
Right.
and juniors and just athletes and guys know how to win football games. And I know they got roughed up by Crown Point, but who's not? Getting second in the DAC is not a bad thing at this point in time.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And I know you mentioned the Crown Point game there, and I did that game, and we talked about it all game. Is I wish they didn't play so early on in the season, though, honestly. I wish they played week 7, week 8 of the season, because Maryville was going through, they were shuffling some quarterbacks, they were shuffling running backs, they were still trying to find out who they really are and their identity, and now we're seeing it. Now they're hitting their stride, and now they got things moving. I would love to see a Maryville Crown Point at the end of the season rather than at the beginning.
That should be last game of the year.
Right,
I
would love it. I would love to see that.
Yeah,
Crown
stay
Point
healthy, but you want to get healthy and stay healthy.
Yes.
You want to make that run. You need some luck and some health.
Well, that's the thing too. I think that's going to play into Crown Point's favor, is how many times did they go into halftime and be like, all right, starters, take your pads off. We're not going to need you the rest of the way.
They're done for the night.
And that's the impressive part about Noah Ehrlich in his last season.
Yeah.
Is that he's still second in the region in passing.
Yes.
And how many quarters did he sit the entire way through because they didn't need him out there?
Yeah, we've talked about it. In 6A, they're their number 1 scoring team.
Yes.
They're averaging 45 points a game.
Average.
Mostly in a half.
Yeah,
in a half.
So,
no, I agree. I could only imagine what his numbers would be passing if he had to play full games.
Right.
It'd be off the charts.
And so I just saw that 14-7. Little update. Hanover Central is up 7-0 on Hobart in a really big game in that conference. 2 teams that are undefeated, 4-0, and then could be walking away with a conference championship with 2 weeks left to go. I can't believe the season's almost over.
quick.
And
It goes quick.
Selection Saturday is coming up very soon.
yeah, it's the 13th of October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you met here with some penalties, and you're starting to see, are they getting a little sloppy here? Did that adrenaline and that first burst kind of wear off? That's what you can't have happen against a very good Wheeler team.
That's what happens a lot in rivalries.
It does.
Is that you get so amped up, and then that first quarter, you're so determined, and then by the time the first quarter ends, you have nothing left, and you're just trying to get through the second quarter.
Yeah, trying to get to halftime.
Right.
You look at sectional 9 where Maryville is. That's very gettable for them. They have Hammond Central, Munster, and Hammond Morton.
Well, those are teams that they could be easily.
Yeah, so it's a matter of just staying healthy.
Staying healthy.
Keep play a little bit. Get your guys some sweat and get off.
Yes. No, I totally agree. That healthy part is key.
Well, just looking here, Boone Grove is up 20-0 already on Whiting. Actually did dinner with the Oilers yesterday. That was really fun, getting to talk to their coaches, their players, and they have a culture, and they're starting to buy in. First-year head coach who was 20-year assistant in South Bend, and now he's coming over. And they might not be having the results that they've been looking for, as he said, but he can see a complete flip from what the Oilers were from a year ago.
Yeah, culture's big. We just talked about it with Griffith, obviously. Is once you get the group of players buying into what you want to do, that's when success happens. And, of course, we're seeing it, like you said, in Whiting currently right now. And that's a very rich, traditional football program, too, as well. So getting that back on the mend is great to see, obviously, for the Whiting Oilers.
And I think it's good for region football.
Yes.
When Whiting's good, region football's good.
Yeah.
That's just, and I'm a Porter County guy, but it just seems that way. Mm-hmm. With all the success that they've had.
Well, both of you are former or current coaches. So how do you get players to buy into your program? What are some of the steps that you need to take once you step in and you start working with a whole new group of kids?
I think you find a core of guys to build around.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you get some pizza. And say,
Yeah.
guys, you guys, it's on you.
Yeah.
Player-led programs, and I've said this a lot, are the best way to go. Coaches are there, and they can only do so much. It's got to come from the kids. Hey, we got to get in the weight room. Hey, we got to watch film. To hear it from the coach's voice all the time, they're like, it shuts off after a while.
Yes.
Right.
But hey, we're picking you up.
I agree.
I don't have a ride. I don't know. There's no excuses.
Nope.
Right.
Get on your bike.
Yeah.
Start riding.
Yeah, biggest thing, like you're talking about, though, is accountability first and foremost, obviously. And I also think, you always hear this, is he a player's coach kind of style? You gotta let your players play. You gotta let them make mistakes, and then you have to obviously correct it. But also, what you see is a lot of successes when a coach can just let their players play freely,
right,
and let them. A lot of times, players will go out there and be, scared to make a mistake, right? And you got to let them make the mistakes. Then you got to coach them. You got to do the film like you're talking about. So when you can let your players play freely, they're gonna understand a little bit more of what that culture you're trying to bring, and then the core group of guys is key.
Yeah.
If those core group of guys are holding, their buddies accountable in the hallway, outside of football, that's gonna pull them in. So if you got a good core group of guys, you're gonna have a whole team buying in.
There's 100 cliches, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Row the boat, get on the bus, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're not with us, you're against us. That kind of thing. There's no hemming and hawing, and that kind of brotherhood and let's do this kind of thing. That's a big deal, I think.
Yeah.
I would say one of my favorite stories of that. Oh, it looks like LC got a safety.
That looks like
Yes.
a Major League Baseball game.
Yeah, that 3-2.
3-2.
We love safeties. We don't get to see them too often.
No,
but,
we sure don't.
But that's kind of what we thought the score was going to look like tonight. Chesterton, that's a run-heavy team.
It's going to be a grind,
LC's had a mixed bag sort of season. They're 500 in everything. Their overall record, DAC record.
Whoa.
But that's a very winnable game. Well, that was a bad snap, and somehow they got it away.
They got to have to work on some special teams there.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, thankfully they got it off, and they took a nice little bounce to push them back there, but that snap was pretty high.
Yeah, luckily it looked like the punter is an athlete himself, was able to get up there and bring it down. But I remember this story I was hearing about Nick Chubb, the running back for the Cleveland Browns. He went out and bought an Xbox One and a PlayStation 5, and he wasn't using them to play video games. He was using the check up on his teammates to see who was online still, and be like, "Hey, turn it off, go to bed. We got a game tomorrow."
Yeah,
but that's one sort of things I think you guys were alluding to, was holding them accountable.
It's player-led accountability is huge.
Absolutely.
And coaches got to have a couple guys. We got a good run here from Wheeler again, but coaches got to go, hey, you handle it. You don't want me to handle it. If you handle it, we're going to be okay. You're not going to want me to handle it.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. And I think Wheeler's starting to. This might be where we start seeing that turn of the page. Yeah. They had a couple mistakes with Calumet, a couple penalties, bad snap, and then Wheeler comes and rips off. A nice run here. You pound it in here, get another touchdown. I think you're going to kind of see that momentum shift fully over to Wheeler.
Get some separation.
Yeah, and you can start pulling away a little bit.
Well, here we go. Looks like we might be getting the Portage Michigan City game here on the RSN Zone. There you go, Justin.
Good job, Justin. The man. He's the man.
This game's been
the man behind the computer.
Well, again, this is both of these teams have been 20-20 all year.
Yes.
They've been able to play in the middle of the field great, but they just they kind of shot themselves in the foot in the red zone. Portage had a late fumble, I believe, one time. Michigan City's been right there, and it's those details though that can flip that record. There's a big difference between 3-3 and like 6-1,
Yes,
or whatever, 5-1, and they're that close to being there.
Well, I watched Michigan City go up against Valpo at home, and they came out of the second half and they dominated the third quarter. I would think the time of possession had to be 10-2 for those 12 minutes. Mm-hmm. They got right outside the 10-yard line, turnover on downs, couldn't get it, and then Hart, who's a junior, I believe he's a second-year starting quarterback, maybe his first year, forces a pass and it was an interception. And then Michigan City lost by one possession. And that's the sort of mistakes that's going to hurt you. But again, you have a new head coach. Second year with the program. And you're still learning and building up that culture. But as you were saying, Doug, they're that close from becoming the Michigan City Wolves that we're accustomed to. A very good football team that comes out every fall.
Well, I think that's the margin of error we work with.
Yeah.
With two solid teams in the dual end or any conference. And that's what it comes down to.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I mean, we saw it here already. Michigan City's defense, stopped against Portage on the 3-yard line like we were talking about, and then you flip it back. Portage stopped Michigan City right away and got the ball back. So, again, offense, a little bit of struggles here and there, but the defenses, like you guys are saying, are playing very, very well.
Defense travels, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You can have off nights.
Too.
You can have off nights offensively if your defense is always, there you can always fall back on it.
Absolutely.
Well, Hanover Central's up 14-0 on Hobart at the moment. Morton's up 7-0 on Hammond Central. Andrean and Bishop Chatard just went into halftime. The 59ers currently holding on to a 1-point lead.
And that's good for Andrean there. They were able to stop the bleeding. Bishop Chatard coming back there going into halftime. I'm not sure who got the ball.
Probably Andrean scored pretty quickly.
Yeah, they scored pretty quick.
So Bishop Chatard's going to come out. So at least they were able to take that into halftime with some momentum of that 1-point lead. I mean, that's big. They struggled last week in the second half against Hobart. That's Hobart kind of blew the doors off, but
well, they're showing the highlights. It looks like Finley scored a really long touchdown to start off the game.
Yeah, the speed, just a pull away speed.
He is something else.
He is quick. I mean, he chased down last week. Willie Shearer caught a screen pass on the 2-yard line, and Finley chased him all the way down and tackled him on their 8-yard line. So when you talk about speed, it was speed on speed. Finley won that one. But they were both electric to watch.
Like DK Metcalf type speed?
Yes.
I saw a score that I was pointing to. Maryville was up 21-7 on the Valpo Vikings. And as we said, Valpo's offense has struggled against the good defenses. Maryville, of course, their calling card is, hey, we're going to beat you with our defense and then use our speed on offense to beat you. And right now they're up 14 points, and that's going to be huge going into halftime if they have all the momentum.
Yeah, that's another something we mentioned. Valpo this year has given up more points than normal.
Yeah.
They have. Sam Bernardi does a great job with the defensive, as a defense coordinator, but normally they were 8 to 10 points a game. They're giving up almost 3 touchdowns a game right now.
I agree, and I think it comes back to the run game, and you said volume and stuff, right? They're struggling a little bit with that run game. The volume is not there as what we saw, and they may be resting, but they used to be able to rip off those 6-8 yards, long drives, and take up a lot of time as well in the game, and we're not seeing that from that Valpo offense this year.
I'd be interested to see if Stokes is back in and healthy. He's a big weapon to help stretch that field a little bit.
Well, look here. The Munster Mustangs just scored another touchdown. They're up 19-7. Could be 27, pending the extra point. They're scoring points.
Yes, they are. That's a lot of points.
City would be up in arms. that's a big rivalry, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, it is.
The Battle of the Bridge, it says. Yeah.
That bridge gets crazy, though. I mean, they got people guarding it, whoever wins, and making sure no one from the other towns come in. It's a big, big rivalry.
Looks like Portage is down in the red zone.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, you got a good view of it down there. Oh, here we go. New game.
Justin.
MVP. Even though he's wearing a Pacers hat tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Go Bulls.
They're trending. They're going in the right direction.
Yeah, we don't acknowledge them, though. Well, we're back at Calumet. It looks like we got a false start penalty. So we're tuning back in. Calumet scored a touchdown, got a 2-point conversion. Wheeler then promptly went down the field and scored themselves. They currently have the ball on the Calumet side of things.
And Calumet's doing well. I mean, they've lost some of the momentum, but there's not much time left in here, and they're kind of in this bend, don't break mentality so far.
And they're keeping it close, too. They're keeping it close.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of those, just keep them out of the end zone here and get to halftime.
Well, that was a BB.
That was a great little pattern there, wasn't it? He's still on his feet.
Wow, still on his feet, yeah.
Arm tackle's not going to work on that kid.
And that's what's going to hurt you, right? I mean, coming across the middle, you got to get him down instantly. You can't let him break those tackles, obviously. What we saw was a very good, though, catch and run, and breaking some tackles there for Wheeler.
There was a lot going on. A little swing pass. You see the running back kind of bellied out, and then cut across the middle where the backers were probably chasing that running back.
And I love that play because normally the backers are on the running backs.
Yeah.
They're guarding them coming out of this. So when you get a wheel route coming out of that backfield, that's pulling those middle and outside linebackers across, leaving the middle open.
Yeah, there's that void there in the middle.
We got 2 games going on at once. Look at us upgrading here on the RSN zone.
Oh, here he goes. You turn the corner. He's in.
And he's in.
Wheeler's going to take their first lead of the game, and their running back has both touchdowns.
Little replay here. Inside handoff.
Yeah, both guard and tackle pulled again. Wheeler loves to pull.
And they pulled to the right side,
too. Exactly. The guard and tackle are coming over to play side a lot for Wheeler.
That is Jaden Ortiz that has scored the 2 touchdowns for Wheeler to get the lead. And it looks like Portage, they're trying to get in. Not sure what. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, they've been in the red zone there for a while.
They have been.
It looks like they can still get a first down. They can get to the 10-yard line.
Just a few yards away from that, which would be huge to reset those downs.
Justin Ortiz is a name we said a lot last year for Wheeler.
Yes.
He's a little stud down there.
Yeah. Very shifty. He's able to break tackles. He's able, it's very tough to get
low
him
to the
down.
ground.
Yeah, he's listed at 5'8", 170 on Max Preps.
Okay, that means he's 5'7", 150.
And he's ran for 650 yards and 11 touchdowns. So I had those 2. He's already up to the lucky number 13. Well, Griffith looked like they could be going at 7-0. They're already up 21-0. Did they get it?
They look a little
no, he's short. This is it.
Yeah,
this has been Portage's season all year. 4th and short. What are you going to do? And they get...
Well,
let's see if they can get over that hump.
Yeah, as we were talking about, let's see if they go under center or go from a shotgun or a pistol formation.
I like the hurry up, get to the line, and give them a hard count.
Yeah.
See if you can get the jump.
Run that first.
I like that. And stay under center and get going.
Yeah.
I mean, your first half timeouts you can still use. Not sure how many they have, but I can't assume they burned all 3. Oh, here's a pistol.
Up the middle. Oh, that's it. I'm telling you, that's Portage's season all year.
Wow. And they went on 1. That's a hard count
situation. You got to go hard.
Yeah, you got to give them a hard count there on 1. It's worth the shot.
Yeah.
Well, Hobart just got on the board on a passing touchdown up the middle, so they're going to try to cut the Hanover Central lead in half. And there's a nice run from Calumet.
Is that a return?
It looks like it's the return.
Oh, ref down.
Oh, no.
Ref is down.
And we got a flag, though.
Yeah,
I mean, if this goes against Calumet, that's a backbreaker for them.
That hurts.
With, 30-some seconds left, they were in really good field position.
Yeah.
Here comes the Michigan City offense. For me, I always felt like the Wolves have been a second-half team this season.
They make great adjustments at halftime.
I do agree with that. And their defense is playing very well in red zone, short yard downs. They're getting off the field.
Turn the corner.
He's still running.
He's running.
Ooh. When you have a guy like Adrian Holly, too, that's a difference maker on defense. Yes. He's a two-way player, too, because he's wearing the number 55 on offense. So he switches over to play some O-line. Oh, Lake Central scored a touchdown, but there's a flag, though. Can we tune in and see what that flag is real quick? Nope, can't? Okay. Going right back to Michigan City and Portage. Justin says, this is my show.
Yeah.
And that did go against Calumet. They're back. That penalty was against them, so that backed them up all the way back into their...
So that changes your game plan.
It does,
there.
yeah. I mean, at this point, you probably run and get to halftime.
Maybe do a little draw. See if you get anything out of it. If you got any timeouts, he's getting under center. He's taking a knee.
Yeah.
Take it to halftime.
Yeah, see, that run, that's huge. The penalties have been hurting Calumet.
Yeah.
They definitely have. They've had some very big penalties in this half that has swung that momentum back over to Wheeler. You're at your 40-yard line, 2 pass plays, you can get in the end zone very quick with 3 timeouts left.
Yeah.
We still got about 5.5 minutes to go at Michigan City in this DAC matchup. So taking a peek over at the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. Looks like we still have some scorers we haven't found yet. So if you know the score to some of the games that we'll say later in the Host Connections halftime show, make sure to message us on Facebook, Instagram. Maybe send it via OWL. As long as we get those scores, we can update you.
Yeah. Looked like Lake Central touchdown held, too, as well. So that flag must have been against Chesterton.
And only 47 seconds to go. And Chesterton, without their starting quarterback, they're down to their backup. And they even gave up a safety. So LC must have gotten in the backfield on a run play and brought him down. And they got some momentum going into halftime. And for LC, as we were talking about, it feels like it's a team that's been hitting their head against the wall a few times.
Yeah.
Just a mixed bag. Like, there's some good things, there's some bad things. But LC, it feels like they're improving from what they've had in previous seasons.
They sure are, and this is obviously a big, you come out with a win here over number 10 Chesterton. That can really catapult your season headed into the playoffs here soon. This is a very big game.
Yeah, Chesterton, you're talking about McCormick going down, but C.J. Perez has really stepped up, and I love him in the quarterback position. But they also have Andrew Gavea, who's I think against Valpo he carried it over 40 times.
Yes.
That was an old school get on back Herschel Walker type game.
Bell cow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he almost got him the win.
Yeah, Hanover Central 14-7. I saw that on the hometown scoreboard. That wasn't updated yet, but
that was quick.
Hobart had a passing touchdown over the middle. Morton up 14-7. Andrea Bishop Chatar still at halftime. Lowell and KV still scoreless in the second quarter.
Yeah.
But
Kennedy comes back. He's got Kilmer that was underneath his staff for many, many years. Those two coaches, obviously, as much as they probably love each other, they want to beat each other.
That's the Kennedy Bowl down there.
Yeah.
He's still honored.
Well, of course, I mentioned that, and KV just got on the board.
That was quick.
A touchdown.
That was very quick.
I know they've had a running back that's been injured or not able to play here as of the last 3 or 4 weeks. And it was in the first couple of games they were winning, and it was because
Marco.
of that running. Yes. So I'm
Marco.
hoping he returns.
I think after 3 games he had 732 rushing
was
yards
rolling.
after 3 games. He was going.
He was their horse.
Yes.
I see a lot of good running backs in this part of the state.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones is the Hammond Central running back, Davion Terry, who came in with 944 rushing yards. He had the rushing touchdown against Morton, but they're trailing by 7. But it feels like because you've seen so many Hammond schools go to the wayside and start to group together, so you feel like a lot of those rivalries over in Hammond have gone away. So this is the big one.
This is the big one, yeah.
There's only 2 schools left in Hammond now.
That's it, Morton and Central.
Yeah. My parents were Hammond graduates.
Okay.
So.
And now they're scuba pros.
Well,
yes, they are.
And
That's where they're
obviously
at right now.
Clark not there anymore. That Whiting-Clark battle, 118th, that went away too as well. So that was a big rivalry over there in Hammond.
I'll tell you another kid that I saw that we had. It was from a team that's not doing very well. It was from Bowman. A kid named King Wissington. He was a monster. But it takes 11 guys, I know. But he was a horse. He was big, and when he turned the corner, you weren't catching him.
Yeah,
I saw him play against South Central. I think it was it was close for a while, but that dude, he's a dude. He's an unknown dude.
Well, LC and Chesterton had just gotten into the half, 8-3. Chesterton was leading 3-0, but 8 unanswered points since then. The safety and then a touchdown for LC. They didn't get the extra point apparently, but again, a slugfest. And then Calumet and Wheeler just went into the half with Wheeler winning 14-8. So we're going to go into the Host Connections halftime show connecting the first half and the second half. We've seen some really good football thus far. A lot of tough-nose region type of battles.
Yeah.
Portage and Michigan City still got about 2.5 minutes to go, but so far some games that are up to expectations.
Yeah, just about what we thought would happen. Is going on, and Michigan City's there in the red zone. But a lot of good football here tonight, and
Well, it
again,
looks like
No,
Portage
oh,
got
Portage
it.
got the
Portage
ball
got it
back.
now. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I think it's going to be whoever scores first in this game is
Yeah.
going to win, and it may be a single-score game.
Right.
The way this is going currently
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, again, it's just both teams that kind of shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they get there, and then they can't get over that hump.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, we're gonna go into. They're at Portage. We're going up against Michigan City. Looks like there's a good crowd there. Some long sleeves and some jeans. You know, that's the type of year we're in right now.
Michigan City's traveled pretty well. They got some
Yes, they
people
do.
in the crowd there. They want to go to these nice weather games before it gets all yucky.
Yes.
Mom and Dad will go in the nice when it's 65 and it's clear outside.
Yes.
Next thing you know, they're going to be showing up, sitting in the.
In the car, they want to get out of the car.
Yes.
We'll be in the bleachers and sitting in the cold steel
Yeah.
with blankets and jackets, all the layers.
And we're only a few weeks away from it. It's come that
It's
quick.
coming.
Right around the corner. We
It
had a
is.
longer summer though.
We did. We actually, I mean, today was 80 degrees. So I mean, it was kind of summerish like. You never know what you're really going to get, but at nighttime, it gets pretty chilly.
And I love it. I love this.
Oh,
I love this
yeah.
time of year.
Yes.
Well, Whiting scored a touchdown. They got 2-point conversion, so they're down 20-8, trying to get back into that one against Boone Grove. We'll see how aggressive Portage is. They threw a pass that was incomplete, so they're stopped at 2:54, and it's
They're
let's say
punting.
4th down. Yeah, they're punting.
Yeah. Punting. Again, Michigan City's defense just plays very well. Get off the field, get it back to your offense.
Get away from it.
Took a very good bounce
Yeah,
for
it did.
Portage.
Yeah, it did.
Now, those were one of those punts you probably should have fielded.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you're almost at your 30. You field that you're past the 50 more than likely.
Yeah, at least fair catch it.
I'm just gonna see just how aggressive Michigan City is gonna go here. They're gonna go into the air and let Trent Hart see if he can step up and make some nice plays and be the future of Michigan City for at least one more year. He's a junior. But again, these are two good defenses, and they're showcasing it right now. But also, we've seen some mistakes offensively from both sides.
Well, and you don't want to be the first team to make a big mistake.
Big mistake.
Right.
Yes.
in the other team's territory.
Well, the Red Devils just got on the board. They're down 7-6. They did score a touchdown. Looks like they might miss the extra point. But here's Trent Hart here now. He's going deep. Nice catch!
They gonna call a pick on that?
Oh,
Incomplete.
It was in both their hands
Yeah,
and
that
it
could
ended
have
up
went
popping
either
out.
way.
You were just talking about don't make the big mistake.
You
That
don't
was
want
close.
Yeah.
I thought the wide receiver had it, then hit the ground, and then Portage knocked it out. But it was hard to tell, and I don't think we're going to get a replay.
Yeah.
This is the RSN zone. Justin must have known I was going to say that because he switched it immediately on Major Mind with Doug Nelson and Doug Aschenbach.
Did you see the replay last Sunday with that, or was it might have been a couple weeks ago, that Hail Mary at the end of the game, NFL game? It could have went either way. And I can't remember what game it was.
Was that?
It was a mass of bodies.
Was that the college Miami,
Yes,
Florida, and
yes,
Virginia Tech?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that a lot of fans were up in arms about that one.
I thought it was a touchdown.
I thought it was a touchdown.
Because you
too,
called
as
it a
well.
touchdown. That
Yes.
was what I'm saying. Is
I agree 100%.
I don't know what you saw to change the call there.
Crown Point up 20-0 on LaPorte. That's going to be a running clock in the second half, but we expected that. Two teams on opposite ends of the DAC. Crown Point 6-0 on the year and 4-0 in conference play. LaPorte 0 in both categories.
Right.
So that Lowell went to half, huh? So they missed the extra point, huh?
Yes.
Got it.
Looks like there might be senior night there at Lowell.
Yes. Yeah. Only 3 home games this year, obviously with the new facility and everything going on there. So this is their last home game they've had.
Oh, wow.
So homecoming last home game and senior night this game.
At least they're making them count for those 3 games.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a big sack or a big play by the Portage D.
That was very big. Very, very big. And
That'll
if they got timeouts,
change.
they're going to maybe start using those.
Yeah,
I'd
that'll
imagine.
change your.
Well, it looks like the
And
clock
there you
is
go.
still running.
Looks like they just called it.
Yeah, that's a big play by the
Very
Portage defense. Again, they're 2 solid teams.
Yeah.
They just can't get over the hump.
Yeah.
Kind of get in their own way.
I'm just curious to see what sort of adjustments those two teams are going to make at the half. And it's, as Doug said here on my right, it's just come down to who's going to score
Yeah,
first.
right.
Feels like.
Who's going to score? Who makes that first big mistake that in this game, but I can't see many points being scored.
No.
In this one.
See, I think Michigan City's kind of a sleeper in that sectional 10. They got Valpo, Michigan City, Chesterton, and LaPorte. That's a very competitive section.
Yes, it is. It is, and I can totally agree with you on that, Doug.
Yeah.
They could be a sleeper on that.
They're 2-4, but their record is very deceiving.
Yeah, they play some really good teams down the stretch.
Right.
Yeah, the only team that I think Michigan City's going to have their hardest time against is Valpo.
But Valpo's struggling tonight with Maryville.
Right.
I mean, they got to get it right. They got to fix it.
Yeah, and I think it starts more with their offensive side. When they can't get that ball control, time of possession on their side, they struggle.
There's a big punt there by Michigan City.
Well, the one thing I was pointing out, and me and Doug were talking about, Berta ran for 170 yards in back-to-back games, hasn't broken 100 since. Given he probably should have ran for over 100 against LaPorte because he didn't get any carries in the fourth quarter, and he ended up with like 98, 97. But it feels like, from what I've seen, is that they're keying in on Berta and forcing Valpo to beat them with Hosick, their quarterback in his first year as a starter, in which Hosick did well against Michigan City, but then he struggled these last 2 weeks. So you got to wonder if that's what Maryville is doing the same thing, because they've been giving them the blueprint on how to beat the Vikings, a team that's been so good for so long.
Yeah, and with Stokes out, that makes it even more challenging.
Yeah, even more challenging. That's key right there.
Yeah. Someone else has got to step up. That's a big program. Valpo, Coach does a great job there with his staff and Coach Marshall.
Yeah.
But someone else got to step up.
I remember when Michael Bradner interviewed Coach Marshall, and that what Coach Marshall kept saying, next man up, next man up.
Yeah, of course.
And they're still looking for that next guy to step up so they can separate themselves. And right now they need someone to step up big in the second half against Maryville. Last we had seen on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard, it's still the same. Pirates up 21-7. It must be late in the second quarter.
Portage had a big penalty too that pushed him back, which
might change your.
It's going to change your game plan. You're probably just going to run the ball and try to get out of half here.
The only thing I wish is that this score bug had the timeouts so we could see.
Yeah, see how many are on there.
Yeah.
Get on that, Justin.
Or even just to see the scoreboard would be nice, just to see the TOLs. And we're going to tune in to Portage, Indiana. Looks like some maybe last adjustments at the line. Looks like Portage might just run this and send it to the half.
Try to get to the halftime, yeah. Michigan City used to be homecoming for Portage, so it might be homecoming. It was. They had their parade this week. So you get those. You got to love those long half times.
As coaches, don't you always want to motivate your team with that when another team's having their homecoming or prom?
If it was coach, I hated homecoming. If it was winter stuff, just all the distractions and everything else that's going on, and you're going to have Mr. Football, so whoever's Mr. Football is not in the locker room.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
but I mean,
a lot of distractions. You are absolutely right about that, Doug.
You wouldn't feel so bad if it was 28-0 at the half.
Well, yeah.
But then you have maybe your star QB not in the locker rooms. He's got to wait to find out who's the homecoming king. Oh my goodness!
And I get it; it's part of the high school experience and fun, but. Maybe find a weak game, like you're talking about. Find a lot of people now are doing senior night like first game of the year.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
Get it over with.
Yeah.
Get it over with. And they did that. They started that during COVID, the whole COVID time.
Maryville was one of those. I think they did week 1 senior night.
Yeah.
So they really are.
Oh, those nights are the worst.
I know you and I did a basketball game, and they did senior night. It was Chesterton, and it was way before the season. Even then, it was like right smack dab in the middle. But I'm getting a sign from Justin that we are going to take a break here on the RSN Zone. We will be right back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and that means temperatures will soon begin to drop. And a region winter is not the time to be left out in the cold. The professionals at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling can tune up that old furnace or install a new unit that can last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable this winter, and with 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, 219-923-4441. Or for more info, the website is forajobdoneright.com.
Tech Checking Plus from Tech Credit Union offers everything you'd expect from a checking account. Plus, you'll earn one of their best dividend rates for maintaining a higher account balance. Currently, 4.85% annual percentage yield. No need to choose between easy access to funds or earning a better dividend. Tech Checking Plus gives you both. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Welcome back to the RSN Zone, the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. We got two Dougs and one Andrew here, as we've been following every game that we possibly can find across the region. And this is the Host Connections halftime show. We're getting as many scores as we can, as you're looking at the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. Knox taking care of the Jimmies, 28-7. Still no update from Lake Station and East Chicago Central. If you have that score, please send it on over. Michigan City and Portage have gone to the half with only 66 total offensive yards combined between the two teams. Morton up 14-7 on Hammond Central. Wheeler and Calumet about to start 14-8. They're lining up the ball. Munster, they scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They're up 20-7 on Highland.
Lighten up the scoreboard.
Mishawaka and New Prairie in a good one thus far, 21-14. They're in the third quarter, just coming out of the break. Still no update for River Forest and Bishop. No, that should be a good one, too.
That's right. River Forest having a good year.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
They played Griffith very well last week, too,
Yeah.
as well. And that came down to a nail-biter.
Yeah, and Knowles got their new facilities, so that's a nice ball game.
Maryville beating Valpo 27-7. And if Maryville can blow them out, it feels like the top of the DAC is just Crown Point, a lot of space, Maryville, and then just more space.
Yeah, which again, I wish Crown Point Maryville were the last week of the season.
Yes.
What this Maryville team is doing currently, the offense, they have found their rhythm, they found their identity. They're a very, very good team, and they're much better than what that blowout was versus Crown Point early on in the season.
Yeah, they've only given up 71 points prior to this game all year.
Yeah.
So they're right behind Crown Point as far as points allowed, but they're quietly, they're like, okay, Crown Point, you take all the noise.
Yeah.
We're going to be quiet here and stay under the radar, but I think they're going to be pretty good and get ready for that run.
35-0. Talking about Crown Point, they're leading LaPorte, and they're still not in half. Griffith up 21-0. There you go. Go up against Gary Westside. The Cougars having a hard time with them. Wildcats up by 7 on the Hobart Brickies.
Yeah.
That's, of course, the big game that we've been talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Hanover was leading 14-0. Hobart came back and cut it in half. KV up 1 on Lowell. That's a slugfest as we thought. And then right back to the top with Knox and Jimtown. Let's look over at Wheeler and Calumet. Send us over there, Justin. Yeah, there we go. Football. Not just 3 guys sitting in a room talking about it. There we go. Wheeler and Calumet. Calumet went up 8-0, and then Wheeler responded. But as you said, Doug, Calumet made a lot of mistakes after they scored that touchdown.
They did. That's what hurt them, but they were in that bend, don't break mentality on defensively wise. I thought Wheeler was going to open it up a little bit more, but Calumet defense was able to keep them in the game. Obviously, Wheeler marched down a little bit. Calumet got a stop. They were able to run it out to half, which is a very big positive momentum for them. Going into half, they want to build up that coming out here in the second half.
Well, Wheeler's going to start with the ball, too. Do you have any thoughts, Doug?
I was just going to say, I think Wheeler's got to keep the ball on the ground.
Yep.
I know Coach, the quarterback Klimzak's, he's got some yardage, and he's able to throw it. But tonight, for them to be successful, I think you pound the ball.
And just got an update over the Lake Station's up 6-0 over EC currently.
Okay.
So we got a score going on over there. So, yep, Lake Station is currently up.
That's a good lead for them.
Yeah.
There's a nice run.
There we go, on the ground.
Wow.
It's just when you, and you know this, Coach, when you beat them in the trenches,
yes,
you're just like taking away their manhood.
Yes,
we're gonna beat you. We're gonna beat you down.
Yes,
we're gonna keep
absolutely.
going.
And the thing though is you just keep running it. One of them will pop.
Yep.
Like we just saw.
Yeah.
You keep running, you get 2-3 yards, 2-3 yards, 2 yards, and then boom, there's the 20-yarder. You keep trusting the process. Stay away from the air.
And it's just demoralizing to the defense. It's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, like what else can we do?
Yeah, 3 more yards, 5 more yards.
We're also just wearing down the big men of Calumet, as we talked about. A lot of those guys are playing both sides.
Yeah,
so they're chasing down the running back, and then they got to block some big men for Wheeler on the other side.
Yeah, again.
Now again, though, Calumet's defense has played very well when they've been in this situation too, as well. If I was to say Wheeler should have at least another score, if not another one, but Calumet's defense has played well when their back's against the wall.
Yeah.
So let's see if they can do that again and keep them in this game.
We talked about that. That field shrinks a little bit. The safeties can come up.
Absolutely.
They're able to help out that line. So, yeah, we'll see if they can keep them out of the end zone. If Wheeler was to go up 2 touchdowns, that would be a tough hill to climb.
That's a very tough hill to climb.
Looking over at Indrain and Bishop Chatard. Indrain with a stop after Bishop Chatard got to the 5-yard line. They responded. They had the ball back, but it looks like Indrain's offense is struggling. Bishop Chatard, of course, a dominant team from Indianapolis. They made the adjustments, and that's what you got to do if you want to be a really good football team. And the 59ers have no response on offense thus far.
And I think Chatard, and I know they're 3A playing up to 4, but I think they have more depth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're subbing guys in and out, and where Andrayan's got some guys going 2 ways probably.
Yeah.
Like Finley. That does weigh on you after a while.
It does, but that's a big stop for Andrayan to get that. They were on what, 5-yard line or so?
Bishop Chatard was on the 5 after a nice run.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean that's a big stop right there for Andrayan. Obviously you got to get the offense moving like we've been talking about here, but again, going over there and swinging on Bishop Chittard and keeping this lead right now is a very positive sign for Andrean and the way from where they started the season to where they're currently at right now.
Yeah, that's good for the morale. Even if they aren't able to hang out tonight, we hope they are. But if they're not, it's good. Like, hey, we hung with the best team.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
that's a big confidence booster.
Yes.
Well, it's something that Andrean is definitely needed because they won the state championship in 21 with Drake Bowen, who's now the starting linebacker at one of the most prestigious football schools in the country, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They go back to state. They lose to the team they'd beaten the year before. 3-7 last year. They're 3-3 this year. And a couple of games slipped right through their fingers, especially that one against Valpo. They were up 21-0, and they lost 28-21 after a nice return from Stokes, the guy that we were talking about with Valpo that they're missing tonight. And from there, Andrean has had to make some adjustments, but they still have some good players, some good talent, but it feels like they've been in rebuild mode this past year or so.
Agree. And, I mean, even last week, too, as well, they lost in overtime to Hobart after having a 21-7 lead going into halftime. So those two games back-to-back, that team's very close to being 5-1 on the year.
Is that live at Portage? No, it's not. Okay.
No,
I thought it was.
That's
it's hard to tell.
That's going to be a half an hour of halftime.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
with homecoming, but no, Andrean's trying to, Wheeler's trying to march here.
They are.
And Calumet's tightening up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Calumet's tightening up. They're not getting as big of gashes on the runs there, but.
Right.
42-0 Crown Point, and it's not halftime.
Not half yet. It was just 28-0, and in a matter of a blink of an eye, it was 35-42. Very, very quick.
It doesn't take long for them.
Yeah, you were talking about their Maryville game. I remember I was doing here's a nice run again.
There's Ortiz, yeah. He's a little inside misdirection handoff.
He's just bouncing off bodies, too. He is a determined runner.
Yeah, I like him.
But as I was saying, I was doing the Valpo LaPorte game a few weeks ago, Crown Point taking on Maryville, and Jay Simmons doing the update, 7-3, I believe was the score for Maryville. Next thing you know, they're like, it's 38-7 Crown Point. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But again, that was a drastically different Maryville Pirates team than the one that we're seeing right now.
Absolutely. Much, much different, for sure.
It looks like Wheeler's going to have a really good shot. It's first down. Look at Ortiz go.
Just give it to him, right?
Yeah, just keep going. Keep giving it to him.
Follow blockers.
What's a quality you guys look at for running backs that leads to success, like what we're seeing from Ortiz tonight?
Well, I noticed that he keeps his feet moving.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He doesn't give up. He's following blockers, staying by, trusting his blockers, following them, but his feet are always moving, being shifty left to right just as much. You know, he's those hop steps and he's very. You can't hit him square.
Yeah,
he's one of those running backs.
I agree. That, and you alluded to it a little bit there, is trust the process, trust the play. It may not look like it's there. That gap may not be there. Trust it. Trust your guys that are in front of you. And if you got, you're running powers, you're running inside, and you got guys that are trying to bounce it out. No, they got to let it develop. So that patience and trust in a running back is also going to go a very long way.
Get through that first hole, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And then there's a whole nother level of just break that first hole and then see what's up.
If Wheeler can score a touchdown right here, is that going to put Calumet in a really tight spot to win the game? Because, again, this would be, for Wheeler, 20 unanswered points, depending the extra point, if they can break the goal line right here on this 3rd and 1. Wow, they're not even hide it, what they're trying to do.
No,
yeah, that was
which I love, right? Just get there, get it going. I mean, I'd like to see under center a little bit more, but
well, I mean,
what's I formation?
When you
under the center?
When you start getting that snow and sleet and wind,
cold,
you want to be as close as you can.
Absolutely.
Break out the gloves so it doesn't slip right out of your hands.
Yeah, but nonetheless, that's where Wheeler's success has been. Inside the tackles all night, they've been having very, very good success. They were able to gash them off short yardage. They're able to make it work, and
we've seen little to no penetration from the front
D-line.
7 of Calumet.
Well, they're flipped over. They're playing offensive line too as well, so it's very tough. They're starting to get gassed. That energy level
fatigue really kicks in. It really does.
Yeah.
But LC and Chesterton have just come out of the half. Not sure who's going to start off with the ball there. It's an audio-only broadcast at LC tonight. But this is the RSNZONE, the second edition. So honored to be the second host all time with you two guys, the two Dougs, Doug Nelson to my left and Doug Aschenbaugh to my right. Looks like we might be returning to Portage very soon. But Boone Grove, they scored a touchdown on Whiting. It's 26-14 there. KV and L. Lowell, they're still at the half. Bishop Chatard scored, so they are currently leading against Andrean. But the way that Chatard's defense has stepped up, you have to think at one point or another they were going to get good field position. That's exactly what they got. Yeah. They ran it, they punched it right in, and it's 19-14. I'm surprised at how many bad kickers we've seen tonight. How many missed extra points that we've seen from all across the region.
Yeah, we talk about that every year. How Andrew, that factor.
Yeah,
that comes to get you. Comes starting in postseason.
It does, absolutely.
Those extra points, you're like, you don't really think about it. Then you lose by one at the end of the game. I mean, it catches up to you.
Right.
Well, how many games have you seen lost because of a missed extra point or a missed field goal?
Sure, a lot.
I mean, look at I hate to allude it to this way, but look how the Bears won their first game of the year. They got that one block punt, and after that, their defense stepped up, and it led to a win. You don't necessarily need offense. It's certainly a lot nicer, but there's still another phase to the game. It's just special teams, which is mislooked.
I mean, it is. I've also seen a lot of games where you're inside the 10-yard line. You can't kick a field goal to win the game. You got to go for it, and you get stopped. So, I mean, that's also the other side, too, outside of the extra point is not many teams out there are going to be able to kick field goals. Yeah, sure, we got some good kickers, but
I think I've seen Valpo's got a couple. They got a couple. They have a Wilcox kid who's really good, and the Chesterton kicker was actually pretty good, but that's a skill, like you said. It's just one option you don't have.
Yes, I agree. And Hobart's kicker, actually, we were watching the warm-ups last week, and he drilled a 55-yard field goal in warm-ups. Now, different in the game, I get it, but he's got a leg over there in Hobart too as well.
that will help you.
When you're struggling to find a kicker, that's when you go over to the soccer field.
Yeah,
hey, coach, can you line it up around the midfield and see who can kick it the longest?
Yes.
Wasn't there a team in the past that had a girl?
I believe so.
Yes.
I believe
she was a soccer player.
I know for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Was that what it was? Okay.
She was a goalie.
If you can kick, you can kick.
Oh, that's it. That's all we need to do is kick.
Right? You're not gonna get hit very much.
See this ball kicking through those uprights.
Yes. After your practice, come over and kick with us a little bit, and you're done.
I remember when Crown Point did that with an athlete named James Pretty. He was a soccer player, and then he got brought over and was the primary kicker, and he did a pretty solid job.
Yeah. Soccer field's not a bad place to recruit.
No. You ever watch the movie We Are Marshall? That's exactly what he did.
Right.
All right.
Way anymore in college now, and they're getting a lot of punters from overseas.
Yes.
And there are a lot of soccer over there. I mean, a couple of Australian punters I've seen.
Well, also rugby.
Yeah.
Because they're rugby-style kicking. They're kind of running from the side at an angle and getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I believe the Bears' new punter is from Australia,
New
Zealand area.
He had a big game last week.
Yeah, Torrey Taylor.
He was pinning him back a few times.
Yeah, he won the NFL Special Teams Player of the Week.
Right.
Yeah, he got a leg on him. There's a kid, I keep talking about Hobart, but they're starting defensive line. He's 6'7", 345 pounds from the United Kingdom. He came over from the UK.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're starting to see it a lot more, which is crazy. You talk about the region and other countries, but it's wild. You're starting to see a lot more, coming over from different countries who want to play some football. And if you're 6'7", 345, I don't blame you.
And if you look up region football, Hobart's right on top. Right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Where should we go? There we go. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen American football grow all across the
world.
Oh,
yes.
Yes, the NFL's been going to Germany.
Brazil, I think.
Brazil, that's where the Packers and Eagles started on a Friday night, which was odd. And it's huge in London. I think the Jaguars play there every year.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the sport growing just outside of the United States, and that's really fun to see. And as you guys were talking about, getting some guys to come on over and try out to see if they're any good. I know, I think the 49ers about a decade ago signed a guy that was a rugby player.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's some rugby guys. You watch some rugby film, you say, find out who that guy is.
Yes, bring him on over.
Pads or no pads, that dude can hit.
We'll go back to Wheeler and Calumet. Wheeler up 21-8 in a shocking way, too. They've been establishing a run game, but here they're penetrating. They tripped up the running back, and they're just dominating the trenches right now.
They're plugging up holes.
Yeah.
They made some adjustments since that Calumet drive when they scored. But I think Calumet scored, they moved the ball on the perimeter.
They did. Yeah, they had a lot more success on the perimeter, which we haven't seen them go much back to with it. But I think they're trying to also control the clock, and they've realized that it's, we ain't going to probably score much against this defense. We got to try to get some long drives and keep the ball on our side.
Be methodical and give our defense a rest a little
bit,
too.
Yeah.
the guys that are on the sideline. Anyway.
Well, Hanover Central and Hobart just came out of the half, and of course, the two teams that are 4-0 in the Northwest Crossroads Conference. They're battling it out right now. Hanover went 14-0, and then Hobart responded. As we're still looking at some scores at the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard, and we got a couple of games going on. Wheeler and Calumet, and then Portage and Michigan City. They're at the half right now. Only saw 66 yards gained for both sides. It was 23 for Michigan City, 43 from Portage. All right, there you go.
A little under center. A little QB sneak.
Oh, ball on the ground.
And the ball goes on the ground.
Okay. That's the mistakes, though.
That's it. Yeah.
The team that makes the fewest mistakes wins. That sounds obvious, but you start looking at turnovers.
Yeah.
And bonehead, like dead ball fouls and flags. Self-inflicted wounds, man.
LC scored a touchdown. They're up 14-3.
That's big for LC.
That's a big score.
An upset alert. Here on the Ragin' Sports Network. The Annenberg ranked number 10 Chesterton Trojans, trailing to LC. And yet the thing, at some point or another, a team's going to find a way to beat them without their starting QB.
Yeah, Lake Central's doing a great job, and again, they're going to keep it. It's going to be that you're talking about trenches. That game is on the ground.
Yes, absolutely.
That is a big man's game right there.
Yeah, and I think LC is going to kind of go to how can we get some of these long drives and eat some of this clock up. It's a 2-possession game here, and they want the ball. They're going to try to probably ground and pound and chew up some clock. Yep. I would imagine.
Well, we're not sure how many drives Chester. Oh, here's a nice swing pass, and that worked out. First down for Wheeler.
Yeah, again, I mean, you've been hammering up the middle in between the tackles. Eventually, you're going to try the perimeter again, even though you didn't have much success. But after pounding it up the middle for so long, they're obviously biting in. You got to hit the perimeter and have success on it. That's exactly what we just saw with Wheeler.
Yeah, you got to sell out a little bit and try to stop that, especially as you're trailing by a couple possessions.
And that's when play action comes into play.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, sell it, go outside, and Wheeler, as we've seen, they have some guys that have some wheels.
Yeah.
Yes,
when they get into that perimeter, they're gone.
You could sneak a tight end out here on the top side there.
Yeah, they're bringing the house, and it still doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, good cut back there, coming across the grain. But you talked about the tight end sneaking out. He actually did a great job scrape blocking and getting on the play side of the ball there, and he was able to get a nice cutback off of that. And you don't see that much, honestly, in high school. Those backside kind of where you see some stalemates, or they try to get to the linebacker and couldn't get it. But you talk about speed. You talk about speeding at the tight end position for Wheeler there to be able to get up to that safety and make a nice cutback.
Yeah, get to that next level. Yeah, I love that.
Well, let's see if Wheeler goes back to the ground game right here. It just seems like whatever Calumet's trying to do to stop the run game is just not working. Or back to Ortiz.
Yeah,
and he's going to get the hat trick.
He's a man through.
Yeah.
We are so sorry, Justin. Don't need to throw the hat or break anything over there. Justin, a proud graduate of Calumet. Maybe not so proud right now.
Get off the roof, Justin. Get off the roof. It's going to be okay.
Now, off to a promising start for Calumet, but then since then, Wheeler making the adjustments, and they've just been flat out dominating. Right now, that's 27 unanswered points. Could be 28, seeing if they can knock down this extra point, which you would think is a gimme, but as we were just talking about, hasn't really felt like that across the region.
Yeah, no, I agree. We're talking about speed and all this here. I got to give
it was a fake.
They went for two.
They went for it.
No. Make it a 21-point game. Why not?
Yeah, make it a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah, I know. I like that. You're kind of putting the nail in the coffin a little bit on that.
Yeah, it's hard to see it. The camera was elevated a little bit with the score bug right there, but hey, I remember running that play in the college football in Madden growing up. Make field goal, roll out to the right, drop it down.
I bet you were pretty good at that game, weren't you?
Oh yeah, still am.
Okay.
That's how I prepare.
And is that another safety?
No, they got 2 points.
They went for the 2 is what it was. Okay, I missed that one.
Yeah, making a 13-point game at Lake Central.
I like that. You got to score twice.
Yeah,
yes.
You ain't kicking
and
no field goal.
Cheston's a team that has a hard time coming from behind. They can't score quickly. They want it to, they want a low-scoring game.
But we even saw them get shut out by Michigan City earlier this year, 20-0 shellacking for the Wolves, and it looks like that game might be coming back. Oh no, they're still in their half halftime. It looks like they're walking everyone.
Yeah, that's a long halftime. I mean, that one's
you.
been going for a while.
Distraction City.
That's when you usually go over to the concession stand and you hang out for
a
few minutes, catch up with your old pals that are in town.
We'll see how Calumet responds.
Yes.
See if they, are they going to throw in the towel, or are they going to?
Yeah, they're going to keep fighting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I haven't really seen a big play from them since that first couple of drives.
I think it's
showcasing the speed right here that you can see on the edge. Oh, that's a very good return.
Yeah, I just think Wheeler's made some adjustments. You could tell, and they're containing a little bit better. They're not letting him get outside as quickly as they were in that first possession where they scored.
Yeah.
Well, Bishop Chatard and Drain, I've gotten into the fourth quarter. Bishop Chatard knocking on the door again. Looking over at Hanover Central and Hobart. Hobart has the ball about midfield. Really interested to see how that game plays out. But you're right, Doug. I really want to see Calumet make some adjustments to get back into this game. They were
keep fighting.
Yeah, they were fighting really early. But Wheeler, as you said, making the adjustments and making it a little bit harder for Calumet. And Wheeler, we're so used to them airing out the football tonight. They've established a run game with Jaden Ortiz. And right now it looks like he's going to walk away with the Superman player of the game.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening for him for sure.
I wonder how many yards he's at.
Just ground and pound, man. Just ground and pound. Nice play action.
Pick six. Pick six.
Wow, that might have been it. That might have been the one.
That's two big turnovers. Obviously the fumble, and then
there's the adjustment they made though.
But I feel like that's the only pass play we've seen from Calumet.
Yeah,
it was a play action, try to get it to the outside. That I believe it looked like a linebacker cut it off, brought it in, and he had clear space to go the rest of the way.
Yeah, he could have walked in.
Yeah, he could have. I mean, that was just a great read by that linebacker there. I mean, he did not bite on the play action fake whatsoever, and stayed in his kind of that inside zone, taking away the hook to curl.
Yeah, I think like I mentioned, I think Wheeler's been playing very well lately.
Yes,
they're on a good roll, and you know how important momentum is.
Absolutely
for high school sports.
Absolutely.
And what sectional is Wheeler in? Who could they be going up against?
That's a pretty tough sectional. I believe that's Boone Grove. That's Andrean.
So this is a 2A, 3A?
This is a 2A.
2A, okay.
Yeah. Sectional 33, you got Wheeler, Andrean, Bremen, Whiting, Lake Station, Rensselaer, and Boone Grove. There's
a couple top teams.
It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy at all.
Well, I just watched the Wheeler kicker, and he's going to have no problems. I think he sent that outside the stadium.
Yeah.
My goodness, that guy's got a leg.
So you get a car out there in the parking lot.
So we're going to take some looks over at the hometown scoreboard, see if we have any other updates outside of the games that we currently have. Of course, we know about LC and Chesterton, but 16-3, so behind a little bit. Halftime, 42-0, Crown Point. You could just ran the clock at halftime and just let that go.
And you probably wouldn't hear anybody complain.
No.
Because even LaPorte is down their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And they've been struggling offensively all year. So that's a good game. Hanover Central and Hobart, we've been keeping close tabs on that one. KV up 1 on Lowell. They are just coming out. Actually, Lowell just scored a touchdown. They just took the lead.
I was just watching that. Lily's coming over here. So they came out of the halftime, came marching down and scoring. Senior night got them pumped up, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though it was slightly a little longer halftime, they were ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing a turf field, and as someone that graduated from Crown Point, I'm not used to that because obviously the big rivalry for Crown Point is Lowell, the longest rivalry in the state, and that's why I remember going to the games, and it was always on grass.
Yeah.
And it was always a battle between those two.
No, absolutely. I mean, that facility over there is absolutely gorgeous. We were talking about it, obviously, before we came on air, but, I mean, everything has been redone over there. And that whole building they built on that north end zone and locker rooms, concession stand, conference room with windows to watch the game, they did a remarkable job on that facility over there. But, yes, grass is now turf.
Well, I was surprised with one thing, looking at Lowell stats earlier this year. I'm so used to them doing two things really well. Run the ball and shut you down on defense. Yes. And they were struggling on those two aspects.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that has been a struggle. Obviously, you've seen them air it out a little bit more. When you got, Sharkey over there at tight end, though, he's been playing very well and been able to toss him the ball over the top of the linebackers. Obviously, it's going to draw you a little bit more attention to that. But, yeah, they've aired the ball out a lot more than running this year.
Well, I want to take a look over at the Calumet game. Calumet just tried to run the ball And I know you guys being coaches, body language is a really big thing.
Yes.
And I saw 15, the QB of Calumet hand the ball off, and the way his arms kind of just fell after they get another loss, maybe just an inch or two, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. But you can tell that Calumet kind of looks defeated right now in this game.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, obviously fatigue. A lot of kids going both ways. The fatigue has settled in, not having some success coming out of halftime too as well. But you are right. Body language is key, and we talk about wanting them to come out and continue to keep fighting. Right? That's what a coach wants in their team is, don't give up. You're always in the game regardless of whatever comes out of it. But
don't give up on yourself and your teammates.
Absolutely.
Well, you're seeing that from that aspect for the team that's getting beat up. If you're the team that's blowing them out and you're seeing that sort of body language, what does that do for your mindset for the rest of the game? Are you thinking there's blood in the water, let's go for the kill shot? Or what is your guys' thoughts on that as coaches and have been around football for so long?
I think you have to. I think you got to keep your foot down.
Agreed.
Because things can change like this.
Absolutely.
A couple fumbles and they're back in the game.
Yes.
So you gotta. We try to say sprint through the finish line.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
We're not here to embarrass anybody, but we're gonna sprint through it. We're gonna finish. We're gonna play 4 quarters of whatever you're playing and and get the job done.
Yes, absolutely.
And when is enough?
Well,
what point do you finally take your foot off the gas pedal?
The running clock has helped. I mean,
that does help.
But still, if I put my second team in or third, like Crown Point, let them play.
Yeah.
They don't work all week to do nothing, and they hand the ball off 3 times and get the ball.
Correct.
Let them play.
Let them play.
And that's how you rebuild.
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
You don't have an off year that way. You just continue and continue.
Is it rebuild or is it more like a retool?
It's a reload.
Reload. That's what I was looking for. Yeah,
it's just next man up. It's my turn.
Yes, exactly.
Ehrlich's going to graduate, and
you had some fun. Now it's my team.
Exactly. I mean, and I've learned from you. Continuously in practice, and sometimes I remember there were some good teams down in Ben Davis for girls basketball years ago. I'm old. But they said the best 2 teams was when they practiced.
Yeah.
Their first team against the second team. That's how good they were. So you got to find ways to challenge yourself. You got to find ways to stay competitive. And when it's my turn, I'm taking full advantage.
Doug, you played at Griffith. Was there a player that you learned from while you were building up and getting into varsity?
Honestly, there's probably a ton of players that I could honestly say, that obviously came before me that we all looked up to. I could tell you one thing, though, that has burned an image into our brain, and what, the coach staff at Racky there did was, for all of us that played there, was that before practice, Saturdays before film, one conference room that we had where meetings was the 97 state team and their state game, and it played on repeat and repeat and repeat, and it was always on repeat for us to watch. So you would catch us in 2 days when we'd have meal breaks, we'd go in there and we'd be watching a half of that state game. Or before practice, before we had to get suited up, we'd be watching the final, at the end. So that state game was always playing. So many players, but that was one thing that always burned in my eyes. If you want to be here and you want to be like these guys, you need to act like these guys.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
That really helped us as the young cats coming
It's just
up.
Ingrained in your brain.
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
That's what you're like getting brainwashed.
So in other words, if we were to put on that game for you, you'd probably do a breakdown. Like, this is how the broadcaster's going to call it.
Yes. Favorite play of that game, though, was when Palucki ran that kickoff return to start the game. I mean, that was amazing. That's what kicked off the game, and that gave the momentum to Griffith, and obviously it was 49-7 to Hamilton Southeastern team. But that really started the game. But that's the one play that's still burned in my brain that everybody always wanted to catch when that film was running.
How about you, Doug? Was there any players that you learned from while you were
I looked up to so many. I think it was a different time. You know what I mean? There were so many guys that I looked up to. Mine was more baseball, but just like Jim Wilkie ended up getting drafted. There was I could just name him. Eric Jones ended up going to Notre Dame.
Yeah,
he lived a couple of roads down from me. So there was so many guys I just admired, like they were my heroes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that way anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know if guys look up to their older guys the way people used to. I don't know.
Yeah, if you if you have more players that are more self-entitled.
Yeah.
And feel like their ego, like, hey, I can step on the field right now and produce. I'm just waiting for coach to
back
give
then,
me the opportunity.
The coach would leave the weight room or something, or the locker room, and the guys handled it. So it was a little different back then. There weren't so many cell phones and anything. So the players took care of stuff in the locker room, and it was like, oh, okay. I know where I stand.
And just got another update. EC tied it up. It is 6-6 in Lake Ascension in the third. And I have to give a shout out here. So I'm getting it from Coach Buckner here and Coach Novak are watching us.
Oh, nice.
Right now at Calumet College, St. Joseph Sprint Football. And I want to give them a shout out. Obviously tomorrow they're playing Bellarmine. Their first Calumet College in Midwest Sprint Football League, taking on Bellarmine. They start tomorrow at 5 p.m. at Whiting High School, where we're watching, and chimed in a little bit here. But I just want to say good luck to you, Coach Buck.
Yeah,
Coach Novak, appreciate you guys watching us too as well, giving us some score updates. And good luck tomorrow.
Yeah,
Get the dub.
Good luck.
Get the dub. That's right.
I love that 7-on-7.
Hey, the only college football in the region. Only college football, and they're doing very well.
I'm surprised it took so long to get college football up here.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable for me.
Well, I can tell you they got the right guy to kick start off with Coach
Absolutely.
Novak over there. I mean, obviously, that whole coaching staff's been doing remarkable over there, and they've been doing some great things. And we talk about the speed and the smaller guys right here tonight. I mean, those are who they're out recruiting right now. So those opportunities are out there when it comes to sprint football.
We got a touchdown, Chesterton Trojans.
They're not done.
They're not done. And how long of a drive was that? I don't remember where they were at, but it's 123. So there's still plenty of football to go.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. They just make it a four-quarter game.
That's it. You got to play 4 quarters against us.
Yeah,
that's
15 rounds, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bloody ending.
Yeah.
Who's last man standing?
Oh, look at that. 2 boxes. Maybe one day we'll have a quad box. And then we have people sending in pictures.
The Octo Box.
Yeah, and you can tell here Wheeler's not stepping off the gas, like you said, Coach.
The fumble. Is that a fumble?
No, he's down.
Oh, okay.
The referee was signaling that he was down. But they're not doing anything that's trickery or that's drastic. It's we're going to run the ball up the middle, and once we see that you're pinching, we're going to send it up for a screen, get one of our physical wide receivers, get out there and block, and we'll run right past you. It's been working out for them, and it looks like if Wheeler can continue to dominate, they're going to cruise to this win over Calumet.
Doug, and you mentioned it too. Those live reps.
Yes.
You can't reenact those in practice.
No, you can't simulate.
And you only
that.
get 9 games or what? Regular season. They're still getting ready.
Absolutely.
They're putting stuff in. They're trying. This is a little draw play. Here you go.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about it all night. That next man up. If they don't get these live reps right now, when they have that opportunity, there is no next man up. He's coming in, cold. So these are key. These are all gas, no brakes. We're running offense and we're giving you the reps.
And something else we've talked about before we came on air anymore. If you don't keep guys happy, they're leaving your school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The transfer portal of high school.
Hey, it's real. It's real.
Yeah, it's trickling down, like you talked about, Coach. The trickle down effect from NFL, college to high school.
Well, even when I was graduating in 2018, it was still really hard to even think about transfer.
Yes.
Even if you thought about it, they would be like, "You're suspended for the year."
Yeah,
that's just one of those things. But now it's even look at Ehrlich. He transferred to Crown Point, no slap on the wrist, no nothing. Go out there and win some games. In which Crown Point has done that for a long time. And you're right. I feel like a lot of these other schools that have nicer facilities that you can then kind of sell to those players. Like, hey, come on over to Lowell with the new facilities. Check this out. It's really nice over here now. And we play physical football. It's something that you like to do.
Yeah.
All right, sign me up. Give me the Lowell colors.
Yeah, but you got to keep guys happy.
You do.
Yes.
I'm not saying, coddle to them, but when it's time, give them a shot.
Give them the opportunity.
Give them a shot.
I mean, even look at what happened to the UNLV quarterback. They're 3-0, 4-0, and then he goes, "I'm sitting because I'm not getting paid as much as I wanted
to."
That's a
whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that won't trickle down.
I hope.
High school, I hope.
I
was just saying, I hope.
That would be odd.
You got Andrew driving around in a new GMC truck. I'm going to here. I'm leaving. They offered me a Porsche. What are you going to offer me?
And I mean, for me, I always felt like that was something they were doing behind the scenes, but now it's okay to do that.
Oh, it's out there. It's all out there now.
Yeah.
Take your shot.
I would do it for a Big Mac at this point. Back then it was.
Hey, don't tell Jim Harbaugh that. He might get suspended for the rest of the year.
Yeah. But it's kind of in coaching. You've seen it. It's kind of running some coaches out of the game though.
No,
it's
kind of like retired because of
Saban. You got Coach K in basketball.
Yes.
They're like, I'm not doing this.
Touchdown
I
Wheeler.
mean, it's tough. It's a whole different world, like you're talking about. Yeah, and that's the young cats in here getting that. That these are great reps for them.
And we're getting to the point where the extra point here is a running clock. I know there's only 6 minutes left, right? But that'd be a 35-point lead. It's a Friday night math. I don't know. Friday night math.
Friday night math. Your brain shut down at 2 o'clock.
As soon as I left my parking lot at work, I was.
How many yards do they need for a first down again?
Nope, Friday night.
Well, I'm really interested to see how this Chesterton and LC game is going to play out the rest of the way. 25 seconds left. We have a flag. And it looks like Portage and Michigan City are about to start.
That is, we talked about the long head, but that may be the longest halftime I've ever seen. It's got to be about 30, 40 minutes long.
I'm telling you, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah. Wow.
I could have ran home and come back.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Portage was going to have a Super Bowl halftime show. Like, did Rihanna perform or something?
I know the marching band did. I saw that out there, and they just now took the field, so we still may have, 2 to 3 more minutes left?
Yeah, 3 minutes,
3 minutes. 3 minutes when both teams get out there.
I just saw the starting quarterback throwing the ball around. Yeah, they're just starting to loosen up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got to make everybody happy.
That's long. I mean, that was long. That wasn't a 20-minute. That was a 40-minute.
Man, you could have broke down the first half for about 10, 20 minutes and told your guys, hey, take a nap in your locker room.
I was say the shoulder pads probably came off even a little bit. Relax. We got a long time.
They had a buffet for them.
Yeah, here's some Subway.
Here's a score update that's going to be huge. Hobart scored a touchdown. They are tied.
There we go.
That's the game of the night right now.
Yes.
Yeah. That, and I think this Lake Central Chess. Those two right there.
I like
some really good games.
Put the red tabs on them. Pay really close attention.
That home field advantage of Hobart. That place is going to be packed, Coach.
Oh,
that place has got to be packed.
Packed.
Because Hanover travels well.
And Willie, like I said, Willie Shear's back too as well for his first full game of the season. I mean, packed probably over there. And Hanover does travel.
They travel
extremely well.
What I'm going to do real quick so we can get a break real quick. Can we tune into Chesterton LC and listen to their audio real fast to see what's going on? We can't do that for the rest of the time? Okay. So it went out. Portage, Michigan City. About to start the second half. And again, I know we haven't talked about this game in so long because it's been in halftime. Both offenses looked slow, sluggish, a lot of mistakes.
Oh, would you say less than 100 total yards between the two
teams? It was
teams?
66. It was 23 and 43 combined.
Wow.
That was it. I'm not that sure if that's total yards and you take out the minuses for the tackles for losses and the sacks, because I know Michigan City gets a lot of those with Adrian Holly, and a lot of the guys around him have been really stepping up. But for Portage, I mean, for them too, they've been struggling offensively, and their defense been stepping up.
Yeah, they just got to try to find where they're at right now. And you're trying to piece some stuff together until the playoffs.
Have we seen any updates for Maryville and Valpo? I haven't seen anything on that.
The Valpo Twitter was pretty live.
I saw at halftime it was 27-7, pretty dominating for the Maryville Pirates. Tell you what, because of this Portage and Michigan City game, we might be here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Pitch a tent, get the marshmallows going. We're camping out here.
Yeah, 0-0. I mean, a lot of passes, the clock stopping during the game. This is going to be well past probably 10 o'clock is my guess. This game ends. I mean, it's 8:51 and it just started. We probably got another hour at least in this half.
We're in the Centier Bank Studios for RSN Zone. Andrew Mine with Doug Nelson and Doug Aschenbaugh. Happy that you are joining us. Most likely you're just a big football fan. This is the place that you want to be. We're giving you live score updates, even watching Wheeler and Calumet, keeping close tabs on Chesterton and Lake Central, and all the other games going on across the region where football means a lot, especially until basketball season starts. And you know how they say around here, if it's not basketball season, they're talking about basketball season. I just can't believe how out of hand this Calumet-Wheeler game got.
It got south quick, didn't it? It went bad quickly.
It did. And I got another update here with Lowell. Lowell just scored and now they are up 19-14 with 3 seconds left to go in the third. So they went for 2. They didn't get the 2, but they re-jumped back on taking that lead over there on KV.
KV has been an interesting team to sort of follow this year.
Kind of back and forth.
Yeah,
team,
wishy-washy.
Yeah. From really good weeks, some weeks they struggle a little bit. I think Marco obviously plays a big role in that in the running game that they have going on over there. But I know anytime Kennedy tries to come back to Lowell, those crowds get packed, the stands get packed, and they want to beat him just as bad as he wants to beat them.
Well, Munster and Highland just finished up the third quarter, and the Mustangs are leading. Hanover and Hobart, they're about 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. They're tied at 14. It was 14-0 Hanover Central. And they have a really balanced attack. That's what makes them so dangerous. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. They got some athletes on defense.
Yeah.
But for Hobart, they've set up a brick wall and been stopping them.
Yeah. No pun intended, right?
No pun intended.
But
right.
yes, you are absolutely right. They have. And again, last week we saw, and I talked about it quite a bit here, the second half that Hobart came out last week against Andre, and they're a second-half team. They really are. They make very good adjustments at halftime in the locker room, and they come out and execute. And we're seeing that again here defensively.
Yeah, and Hanover has some horses. Their quarterback Bonner's transferred from Illinois. We're talking about transfers again, but they have some horses. Hobart must be really shutting them down.
Well, it looks like we're having ourselves a big play here, maybe for Michigan City.
That was the return.
That was the return?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't tell if that was a return or if that was Trent Hart running around trying to stay alive.
Probably a little both.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a punt. Maybe Portage punted the ball away. I wasn't sure who started with the ball.
Mm-hmm. I think Portage is. So Portage must.
That was the
punted
kickoff.
over, right?
That was
the kickoff.
Yes.
So that clock must be off then a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's Trent Hart, and as we said, Michigan City is a second-half team. They make a lot of really nice adjustments, and they had a longer period at the half to make these set adjustments. And
they could have changed their entire game playbook.
Yeah. Now, I don't think, at least I haven't seen in region football, a 0-0 tie going into overtime in a while.
No.
We got a chance that this may happen here.
We got a real chance.
And it would be fitting for those two teams.
Absolutely would be. I mean, I've seen some, 6-6, some low-scoring ones, but I don't know if I've seen 0-0, or if it has been, it's been quite some time.
Yeah.
First and goal, who has the ball for Chesterton and LC? Oh, this is the moment where I also wish the score bug was highlighted who had it.
Yeah, the ball on either side.
Yeah, so now we're on the edge of our seat. If Chesterton has the ball, are they about to score a touchdown and possibly take the lead? Because they could tie it, and an extra point would give them the lead. They were down 16-3 after LC got a 2-point conversion. There's a nice pass, but it got deflected over in Michigan City and Portage.
If it's that LC Chesterton game, if it's Chesterton, it would have to be a turnover. There it is.
Oh, there it is. It was Chesterton. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That 2 quick scores.
That
You didn't
quick.
Score all half.
It had to be a turnover
touchdowns.
in there.
Yeah.
It had to be a turnover.
And then 2 quick ones that you come out here to now potentially probably taking the lead if they get an extra point here.
Yeah, we saw the maroon pop up.
Yeah.
And Doug hit me on the shoulder, and other Doug got pumped up.
Yeah. They don't. That's the thing. Coach Peterson's kids, they don't quit.
They don't quit. You are exactly right about that. And the defense keeps smothering you at the
Yeah.
same exact time.
Well, I'll tell you a game that also got out of hand looking over here. Bishop Chatard, they were down 14-13. They're up 39-14.
That's a good run, huh?
Yeah, the Trojans are going to walk out of Andrain with the win, and Andrain's going to drop to 3-4. Bishop Chatard to 6-1. They made a long trip up here.
Yeah, they did.
That's a 3-hour trip on a bus, man.
And with the time change.
Yeah.
So they actually gained an hour, but they're going to...
misdirection for Michigan City.
Yep.
Wow.
And like you said, Coach, that bus ride's a lot better now that they got that
Ooh.
W because they
yeah.
were sweating a little bit, I bet,
They're
in the
gonna
first half.
I can only imagine with high school kids, they're going to be so pumped. They're on the bus. They're going to celebrate after that hour ends. They're all going to sit down and pass out and sleep before they arrive.
They'll probably get some food in their belly. And
Yes.
Yeah, they got Chick-fil-A waiting for them to get on, grab, and go.
Yeah. And then fall asleep.
Then pass out.
I hope they brought a charter bus down. I'll tell you that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Versus a regular school bus.
As someone
I'm
that
hoping.
travels a lot for work, I agree.
Yeah.
You always need that charter bus.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be it for Wheeler and Calumet. Looks like they're going to get one more play in and then get out of here. Whoa. That was
confusion.
Oh, a little stretch handoff there.
Yeah. And a flag.
And a flag. Flag. Run that clock. Just to get out of there.
Yeah.
Looking at that Portage Michigan City game.
I was telling Mike Dewan, our proud sports director, we need a theme. Region Sports Network needs a theme. Like ESPN has their own. Why not Region Sports Network? So we always know who it is, like right at the beginning or at the end. Or if there's a score update, pop it up at the bottom.
So we need some music, you mean?
Yeah. We need a music
We
director.
can do the Michael Brandner doom 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 doom. I always hear him saying it. That may be it.
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it.
Brandner, if you're listening, I just plugged you in. All right.
He's at the LC game right now.
Get on the mic, Brandner.
He's at the LC game right now because I believe it's their homecoming tonight, and it's not going well. Oh my goodness!
I thought he was going to be in the backfield. He was able to, continue to keep stretching that, but
he ran about 15 yards to get 2.
Yeah. They did. That was really good pursuit by Portage defense there.
Yeah, that game has officially gone final. Wheeler taking care of business against Calumet with the running clock, 43-8, which means we have to give Justin a big hug when this is all over because I think we need to give him some Kleenex, some tears forming in his eyes.
And Chester
we love you, Justin.
Extra point too as well.
Chester
so they
is
took
up
the
1.
lead. They're up 1.
Wow.
That's a tough place. Again, Lake Central's not an easy place to play.
No,
not at all.
They have a brand new stadium too, and it's gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
Oh yeah, that like 2-tier kind of style.
It's kind of a bowl, right? It is kind of a bowl, right?
like a 2-tier bowl on one side, on the south side of the.
That's a good place to watch a game.
Oh yes, it is.
How many students go to LC? Do you guys know off the top of your head? Because
I
obviously,
think it's
like
4,600, right around there. I think it is.
The population for those 3 cities is ever growing. Cherville, St. John, Dyer.
There's only one school that's larger than them in the state of Indiana. And that's Carmel High School.
There's some big ones down
Carmel
there.
High School is very, very big.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, Lake Central is actually the second. If I'm correct, which I believe I am, second largest high school in the state of Indiana, enrollment-wise.
Yeah. I know Crown Point.
Crown Point might
up
be climbing. Yeah, Crown Point may have gone.
It's growing. And so is Hanover.
It ain't going to stop either.
Hanover Central is going to be.
Hanover's up there
They're
too
just
as well.
going 3A, 4A.
Yeah.
When I was there, we were 2A.
Really?
Yeah.
We went to the state championship in 2A baseball. And then it went 3A because then we always ran into Andrea, and it was like, oh god, here we go. But they're doing nothing but going up.
Yeah, same with Lowell. I wouldn't be shocked if they turn into a 5A school here soon too as well. They're growing. There's subdivisions everywhere out there.
So with the region growing the way it is there any way they can finally start catching up to these Indianapolis teams? Because it always feels like the best talent is either Indianapolis or up here.
No, I would agree. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of Illinois that comes over here too as well, and moving over here. So you start getting that talent mixed in with what we've got, some homegrown roots here.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we continue on this path, and you already see a Crown Point team that competes very well when you put them up, next to Indianapolis teams, and I think more teams are going to follow. Hanover Centrals of the world, like we're talking about, growing. I think so. I think we can be.
Crown Point lost the state championship to Ben Davis.
Yeah,
a season ago.
That was one special team, that Ben Davis.
Davis team.
I mean, and obviously we saw it this year. They had a lot of seniors. They lost a lot of seniors, struggled a little bit, but that team was very special.
Well, you keep close monitors too on what's going on in Indianapolis. Because of course, you've seen a lot of state championships won down there. Looks like Cathedral's back in business.
Cathedral's back.
My goodness.
Yeah, Cathedral's back.
I think they're number 1 and Crown Point is number 2. Or is it? I might be getting that mixed up. But for me, I wouldn't be surprised if those were the 2 teams that ended up duking it out at Lucas Oil Stadium this year.
Yeah, that North semi-state's always that's the hurdle for Crown Point.
They won that double OT game a year ago. It came down to the final play and time again.
Yeah, that's a big spot. Any team out of the region, that's
the one.
Sometimes that's the hardest game of the road.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah, we were talking about the weather. Of course, it's going to get colder as we go along, but nothing like a football playoff game that gets you warmed up and ready to go. All the adrenaline pumping, you don't feel the cold anymore.
That's a fun Friday night, though.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and you know who else is back down in Indy is Warren Central.
Oh my goodness!
Warren Central's back this year, and I remember watching them. Where they were kind of the kings of Indiana football back in 2005 to 2010ish, and they're back finally.
I believe they have the number 1 recruit in the state on their team. Because I was looking at some of the top recruits in Indiana. I saw a lot of Warren Central when I typed it in on Command F.
Yeah, but when you talk about the top over there, they got Brownsburg, Warren Central, Crown Point, Westfield, Center Grove, just for the top 5.
Yeah.
Center Grove is always ranked nationally,
yes,
too, as well, obviously. I mean, that's a tough.
That's what some of those teams play in the same sectional, though.
Yes, you're exactly right. Yes.
Imagine being like number 2 and 3 in the state and getting knocked out.
Yeah, well, we talked
number
about
1.
We talked about Cathedral. They weren't even in the top 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're 7. So to talk about that talent of what it is, obviously Crown Point being at number 3.
Just the depth of it is.
But exactly the depth. It's team after team. It's kind of like the SEC football.
There's no easy week.
There's no easy week. Exactly.
There's no off weeks, is what they usually
absolutely.
say. I'm just wanting to see a point, but Doug Guy brought it up. I wouldn't mind if it went 0-0.
0-0 in overtime. Yeah.
Come on, put it on the. What did they start at the 20 in overtime? Started there, and
I think the 10, right?
I think
they started at 10. Yep.
10.
4 downs to go, and
start them off at the 10, and let's see who can win the game.
It would be intrigued. It would set this game off kind of the right way.
It would make perfect sense.
So right now we're looking at Chesterton and LC 17-16. Some score updates on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. Of course, you got some teams like Crown Point and Griffith that we knew were probably going to win. Those are 2 dominant teams that are on the Ennegenberg Region Sports Network rankings. Lowell KV back and forth. Every time I see them pop up, I always feel like it's a new score, and it's always the other team on top.
See, Portage got a penalty there. Kind of, again, shooting themselves in the foot.
I feel like whenever one of those teams goes behind the 2 sticks, that you just draw up a punt.
Yeah.
Like tell the punter,
I think
get ready to go.
Yeah.
Wow. And go ahead. I would say I got an update here from Josh Huddleston over in Hobart.
Uh-oh.
Hobart just picked the ball in the end zone and got the ball back, too, as well. So they were tied up 14-14.
Wow.
Right? Hanover Central marching, and they picked it off in the end zone and got the ball. So defense, we talked about the brick wall, no pun intended. Adjustments at second half, they're coming out. They're playing very, very well.
Well, I have that game pulled up right here. I must have missed that, but it looks like Hobart's going to be called for a hold. A flag flew in. It would have been a first down. It was 2nd and 3, and now it's going to be 2nd and 13.
At least flip the field, though.
Maryville up 35-7. So that has to be a running clock then, right? 28 points?
It's 28. I think it's 35.
35, okay.
Yep.
Inside handoff.
But they're probably keeping the ball on the ground and running that clock very well.
Oh, yeah.
Boone Grove taking care of Whiting 33-14. That game was getting close, but then Boone Grove stepped up. I see Morton and Central. They came out of the half. And they had a longer halftime, so I wonder if it's one of their homecomings or senior nights, but Morton's up 21-7.
Looks like Michigan City's backpedaling here.
Yeah, they're backpedaling too.
Penalty at Michigan City. I was just going to say, I think it's going to be one big play.
It's got to be, right?
Somebody's going to do like some big play. They're going to break one.
And it's going to be an odd one, too, like a pick 6 or a scoop and score.
Yeah.
Or a block punt here.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be an offensive touchdown. That's what I'm willing to put my money on.
Yeah, defensive touchdown or special teams would make sense as well.
Block field goal.
Oh, block or the kick 6 return a missed field goal maybe. Do it Auburn style. But man, oh man, this is a sluggish game to watch.
Yes.
But hey,
not exciting.
Hey, if you love defense, this is your game.
This is it. Yes.
2 goose eggs.
The clock's running finally in the Chesterton LC game. I'm watching the clock. I see the score.
Yes.
The clock is your friend if you're Chesterton here. 1st and 10 for someone.
Oh, I wonder if it's Chesterton that has the ball now.
You never
That was
know.
a good pop. You feel better there, Doug?
Oh, that was a big tackle there by City.
Yes.
Oh, no,
Kevin got the ball. There's my big play.
Oh, there's the big play, and he's going to get in.
Is he in?
I think he's in.
He's going to get in.
He's
in.
Oh,
yeah.
There goes the 0-0.
Oh, I love the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to adding it up.
We got to go back down 1.
You can almost hear it, right? Beep, beep.
That was the big play there. We all thought the quarterback had the ball.
I did.
Yeah. That was Adrian Holly that had him, and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, Adrian Holly made another big play. Whoop-de-doo. But then Portage,
there it is.
Break it open.
There's
my guess of no offensive touchdowns. So.
Yes.
It's not done yet, though.
And there goes my 0-0.
There's a reason why I had deleted the sports betting apps. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah.
But this is a game you would have taken the under on, and you'd be sitting pretty with 5:46 to go in the third quarter. Yeah.
Missed the field goal. Missed the extra point.
Uh-oh, and it's wide open again. It is wide open again.
Extra points are apparently the mortal enemy of any kickers in the region.
There's got to be
tough.
more than 5 we've seen, right, so far.
And there's no excuse. There's no wind.
No wind.
It's beautiful outside.
It's a beautiful night.
Well, Lowell score, they're up 27-14. Munster, wow. 41-14.
Wow, they came unglued on offense tonight, huh?
Is that the most points?
I know they got
total?
really close against East Chicago.
Okay, they put up a bunch.
So we will check out Max Preps and see what it tells us.
Yeah, I was trying
But
to.
again, that's with a team that was struggling offensively. It was bad. Like it was almost like someone would tell you, "Hey, by the way, Munster hasn't scored a single point," and you think to yourself, "There's no way that's true." And then you look.
Yeah,
They scored 47 against East Chicago Central,
right.
and then they lost 42-6 last week against Hanover Central. But hey, they're scoring points again.
Hey,
That's
they're
it.
on
Nice.
the scoreboard.
Hey, the good thing about Indiana football, all that matters is playoffs.
Yeah. Everybody gets in.
Yeah, everyone gets in.
And that's what that's something you guys have been talking about with Valpo. Maybe that's what they've been doing, considering that they've been hit with some injuries. Stokes got hurt, and he's been their. Well, I kept calling him was their Energizer Bunny. Whenever they needed a big play, that's who they went to.
That was it. Yeah,
I called him last year. He was Mr. Third Down, man. He was automatic.
Because he had that kickoff return that got Valpo back in the game against Andrean. And then a game I was calling against LaPorte, they had struggled a bit offensively, but it was one motion counterplay with him. He took it all the way down to the 2, and then Berta punched it in 2 yards later. And after that, Valpo cruised the rest of the way and gave LaPorte another L, in which LaPorte looks like they're going to get another one tonight. They get beat up by Crown Point.
And another update. Lowell, 40-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion is good on this time. 27-14 Devils with 3:19 remaining in the fourth. So it looks like Lowell's pulling away in that one.
Figured something out, it sounds like. And
Yeah,
with
right?
The run game tonight.
The
against
run
KV.
game, yeah. Got a lot of rushing touchdowns. Love to see it.
It looks like,
Portage's defense is getting pumped up here, man. A couple good stops.
well, it looks like Michigan City's line is not holding up. It feels
Just a little flat. Still flat.
Feels like every time Trent Hart has the ball, he immediately has to start taking off, and hopefully someone gets open downfield to help him out.
I think this would be a big win for Portage. We talked about it. I think both teams are right there.
They are.
Whoever comes away with a win, I think it's a big morale. I mean, it's one of those 50-50 games.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there, Coach.
Yeah, this is just one of those games where if we were to pick a winner,
getting stuffed up the middle. Yeah. You can just tell right now that touchdown for Portage has just accelerated that momentum. The defense is pumped up too, and you can just tell right now Michigan City's offense is just real flat.
Yeah, Uncle Mo is on the home team sideline right now.
well, I'm still looking over at Chesterton LC. That clock is ticking.
Yes, it is.
4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Is Chesterton about to make an incredible comeback after being down 16-3?
Did he just get that big first down for Michigan City?
I believe they did. It looks like they did.
What a rollout play. Might be a little short.
So this was something I wanted to bring up to you, Doug, was I've been watching a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL, college, even in the high school level. I've noticed that a lot of guys that play infield, shortstop, third base, it translates easy to football. And why is that?
I think that a lot of more quarterbacks are going to like throwing coaches. To get different arm angles. You know what I mean? Not only are throwing over the top, but they're throwing like around people. You see like a Mahomes, you know.
I was say thanks, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, right.
Mahomes, Matt Stafford.
Yeah. There's in colleges more. There's a lot of slingers.
There is.
You know, but I think it's just throwing in general.
Yes. I would agree with you.
It's a lot of the same arm motion.
Would you say like throwing as an athlete instead of just being like cookie cutter?
Yeah.
Because how many quarterbacks have you seen in the NFL were very successful in baseball?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my goodness!
Is that there it is. Horse collar. Oh, there was a flag.
Oh, was there a flag that came in?
Have you seen one?
He threw it from behind.
Okay. That looked like a WWE move.
That was a horse collar or something.
A fourth down, 3 minutes. Again, we're not sure who has the ball for Chesterton and LC in a 1-point game in this DAC battle. Well, score update here in the Centier Bank Studios. This is the RSN Zone. Chesterton LC 1-point game. But the game that we also have been following tonight, Hanover Central and Hobart. Hanover Central finally scoring a touchdown in the second half. It was a little speed option. Some really good running there. Hanover Central has a lead. 20-14. They're about to kick the extra point. 6:10 to go. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, so especially when you got Willie Shearer on that side. But yeah, that Caden Verrett over there for Hanover Central. I mean, he's a dude. Like you've been saying all night, Coach.
Yeah.
He's a dude. And he obviously broke about a couple tackles there. We saw on that speed option to give Hanover the lead.
He's got some crazy numbers so far this year.
Yes, he does.
You see some video game type numbers
yes.
for both quarterbacks and running backs
Yeah.
for Hanover Central. So the question I have to ask for you guys is, are you looking for more a balanced attack as a coach looking offensively, or do you lean more one way than the other? Are you looking for more passing or more running?
I'm a run guy.
I'm a run guy. I think
Yeah.
running at the end of the day wins you it wins games in the postseason.
Yeah.
It does.
Because the weather's going to get south. Whether we like it or not, it's going to... Until you get to Indy when you're playing in the Dome,
Yep.
you're going to run into weather somewhere.
I'm with you on that too as well. I mean, you can control the clock. You can keep the ball in your offensive hand, keep your defense off, and obviously when your offense got the ball, the other team can't score. I'm ground and pound. And it works. You get 3 to 4 yards a play. You move those chains after a few plays, and you control the clock.
Yeah, we saw it with Wheeler tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
They controlled the line of scrimmage. Ortiz had a good night, running behind that line, but that allows you eventually to take shots because that secondary's got to come up and try to stuff the run a little bit.
It also makes it feel like your life is simpler. Hey, we're going to run the ball, and that's easy. All we have to do is give it to the guy. We won't have to have our quarterback go through all his progressions and get rid of it.
There's less moving parts.
Right. And you're also keeping your quarterback healthy.
Right.
So 2 minutes to go. This clock has just stopped. We're not sure who has it in that one, but I'm hoping it's LC just so it gets interesting.
Yeah, it gets interesting. Yeah, for sure.
You got a big third down then.
It's a 3rd and 9. So it's not even a 3rd and medium.
And it could be within field goal range. It could be anything right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. We did see LC go for 2. Do they have a reliable kicker? It's one of those questions you always have to ask.
Yeah. I mean, especially tonight, what we've been talking about.
That's what we've been talking about, yeah. That's a real issue.
The Michigan City and Portage, they're still going on. Right now it's 6-0.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing though. Portage scores here. I think that may be enough with the way Michigan City's offense been going.
Well, first down. So whoever has the ball might have just gotten a first down, and that clock's still running.
Mm-hmm. Now I could be wrong. Chesterton, I guess, did only have 3, and they scored 2 very quick. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but the way it's been going right now, that's a big drive for Portage right now.
Oh, absolutely. Ball's tipped. Oh! There.
Go!
One
man the beat.
You got to block that guy. You got to block him, right? He's not.
Wow.
There you talk. There's anything can happen. The big plays.
I want to know who tipped the ball.
Was that ball deflected?
It was. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Look how tall that guy is. Who's that?
That's Adrian Holly.
That's Holly. Okay.
Yeah, he plays on the basketball team, and he's going to Kansas. Yeah, it was him. Because he's showing the sign that he tipped it.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a play.
Kansas got a good one.
All right, now we've had a lot of missed extra points here tonight. Let's see if this one goes through. Now we're back to a tied ball game here.
Drum roll, please.
Somebody is 2nd and 21 in the Chesterton game, by the way.
I think LC has the ball because
they
burned a timeout.
Yeah.
I was following that just to
Third
give
and
us an
21.
idea.
Third and 21.
So, yeah, I wonder if they're just airing out the ball right now. Now, as we've said, LC, their pass game has been questionable at best. They're a run-heavy team, just as the same for Chesterton.
We're holding our breath for the field goal or the extra point. It's good.
It's good. That's you talked about that
7-6.
1 point. Remember, Coach, when you were talking about one point when you get to the end of the game.
3rd and 30.
A lot of things are going on in that
Something's going on.
You're trying to get a first down from the other zip code at this point.
Either penalties or some kind of broken play, running backwards.
You never know.
Yeah, they're going backwards on that, which you don't want.
Final, the Lowell Red Devils, they won 27-14 over KV. That game was back and forth, but as Doug said here on my right, it seemed like Lowell found something there towards the end of the game, and they had a long, 40-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was the nail in the coffin for them to get a big win.
It was. And now I'm over here looking at this Hobart game right now, and they just fumbled the ball and turned it back over to Hanover. So Hanover takes possession, up a score, while Hobart was driving there. That's a big turnover for the Hobart Brickies.
We talked about the quick change. You know, they talk about right away, is Hanover going to take a shot right now? You know, right after a quick change.
You got the
possession.
momentum on your side.
Yep.
Take that shot.
Take
I
that
agree
shot.
with you.
You got Hobart on their heels a little bit.
As we said, that could be a conference championship right there. One of those, whoever wins the game, all you have to do is win these next two, and they're going to walk away with a conference title. And Hanover Central trying to repeat. Hobart, they shared the title for back-to-back years, and they're trying to win their 3rd and 4 years.
Yeah, and you could tell this Michigan City team has now been revamped. They got some juice flowing back. They're not as flat as what they were. That was a massive pick six for them, and it rejuvenated their whole team.
I tell you what, nothing pumped me up more than a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Scoop and score, or, Peanut Tillman punch. And
Oh, yeah, the peanut punch.
I mean, it's Chicago Bears, right? I mean, Michigan City has only scored on defense tonight. No offense.
Looks pretty similar.
But they were. I saw his video the other day with Andy Dalton when he was at the Bengals. They were saying all the defenses outscored the offense today, and Dalton said, "Well, from what I'm seeing, the Bengals are winning." So, either way you look at it,
it works.
And now I see a 1st and 10 over here after a 4th and 30. So they must. My guess is
did Chesterton punt to LC?
I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you.
LC's not punting.
We can't get any audio for that one. No,
or they didn't get the 4th down. I mean,
maybe they didn't get the 4th down.
The
I'm not
did
sure.
Stop.
So they're going to take a knee and get out of there.
Yeah, there's no timeouts left.
That's what I'm guessing. Clock's
there
running.
goes the clock. I think what the big thing
and
is.
it's going with no timeouts. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Probably. Yep.
Yeah, we're still because they even bothered to update the down to go.
You got
2nd and 12. So yeah, that's a knee.
That's a knee.
Chesterton. Wow. The Trojans, after being down 16-3, looked like LC was going to get the dub. Chesterton rallies, scores 2 touchdowns, and they hold on to a slim 1-point win. That is football at its finest.
They're gritty. They're gritty.
Very gritty.
Yeah. They're just gritty. Year in and year out.
Oh, that's a big hit.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the guy high like that.
So the couple of finals we've seen here on the RSNZONE was Wheeler winning 43-8 against Calumet. Chesterton just winning 17-16 against LC. And we got one more game to go. Michigan City and Portage 7-6. Portage was up 6-0 after we saw 66 yards of total offense in the first half. After a big play, it was a really nice option. Michigan City then on a pick six. Looks like Adrian Holly, the D1 commit, batted the ball, fell into the lap of a speedy cornerback that took it the rest of the way.
Yeah, that ignited them for sure. I mean, they've got a lot of energy now. They've come out on that defensive side, and you can just tell that flatness they had is completely gone now.
Morton is leading Central 35-14. Hanover Central going for a deep shot, and a pick! Oh, it's incomplete.
Oh,
okay.
Incomplete. That was close.
It was almost a one-handed grab. We're going to get a good look watching the replay. Yeah, Munster, they're going to blow out Highland in the Battle of the Bridge. It's 41-21 with 90 seconds to go. That was a risky pass. That was a duck right over the middle.
They're taking a shot there.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
I believe it's 4th down. So Hanover Central.
You have to punt it back.
Yeah, they're going to have to punt and see if Hobart can respond with 3:27.
3:27.
But Hobart has every single timeout available that they can use to get back into it.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
This is fun.
Yeah.
What do they call it on a red zone? The witching hour?
This is
the witching
hour. There we go. Thank you, Scott Hansen.
Dong.
Yeah, can we get that played over, the dong in the background? So right now, Michigan City has the ball with 10:54. The reason why this game is so far behind all the other games is because it is homecoming, it was senior night.
Yeah.
And it was a half an hour halftime, so.
May have been an hour. It was long.
Yeah.
Did you get the Maryville final? The 35 to 7 over Valpo.
Oh, that was a final.
That was final, huh?
Maryville 35, Valpo 7.
That's a big win for Maryville there.
Yes, it is. Because I was going to put them at second place behind Crown Point. And the Crown Point's game went finals 42-0 against LaPorte. No surprise there as Crown Point continues to dominate.
Another shutout.
Griffith, they're up 42-0.
Yeah, another shutout for Griffith. That might be their 4th on the year.
I think it's their 5th. I think they're already at 4.
Yeah, they've been playing very well.
But their defense has been incredible to watch. It's been so fun. And it seems like looking at the stats, and I know they're not completely accurate, it doesn't seem like there's one guy that's heads above better than everyone else on that Griffith defense. It feels like it's a full 11 guys.
Yes, it is.
And then the guys that come off the bench that aren't starters but have to step up.
Yep.
Because you need your subs.
I'm really looking at that Week 9 Griffith-Wheeler matchup.
That's going to be a good
fun.
game.
Yes.
Yes, that is going to be a good game.
That's going to be fun.
That's going to be, as JR used to say in WWE, a slobber knocker.
A slobber knocker.
For 4 quarters. Like this one is right now. Still got 10 minutes to go. Plenty of time. The Indians of Portage and the Wolves of Michigan City.
And Coach, I'm sorry, you talked about it earlier. When Whiting football is good, it's good for the region. Same with Griffith. When Griffith football is good, it's good for the region.
I agree. All those right in the world.
Yes,
right. If those guys are playing well.
Only thing missing is the triple option.
It only took 1 year for them to be right back at the top.
Yeah, it did. I mean, that alludes right to Coach Mason
Yeah.
and how well he can get things turned around, how great of a coach he is.
He had a vision. He had a vision of what he had there when he left Michigan City to become the Griffith head coach. They went 3-7, and I think a lot of people have written them off. Like, hey, you know what? It's just Griffith. They're not as good as they used to be. They come out this year, and they're setting the world on fire.
Yeah, and they're young.
They're
very young teams.
Their starting quarterback's a sophomore.
Yes, yeah.
And he's a stud. He's a good field manager. He doesn't turn the ball over, has a high completion percentage. Ball tipped. Oh, no. That could have been huge.
That was real big.
They were setting up for a screen, but Portage saw that. They read that like a book.
It was tipped a couple times. But you talk about Coach Mason, it's patience with the process.
Yeah, absolutely
you know
right.
What I mean? Trust. He's a proven winner. I mean,
he's a state champion. He's got a ring.
He's a proven winner, and he came in, like you said, he came in with a plan, and it's coming around.
Yeah.
When was the last time a head coach in this area won 2 state championships with two different teams? 2 different teams. Was that ever been done?
Might not have been done.
I would say Racky would have been the closest, I think, to take 2 different teams, but he did not win it with New Prairie in there. So yeah, I think he might be the only one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he won one at Andrean. Now he's going to try and do it with Griffith, in which the way they've been playing ball, it could translate into the postseason. We'll see. Dominant defense and a run game. It feels like that's the sort of thing you're looking for with teams that are trying to bring some hardware back to their respective programs.
Yeah.
Back here in the Centier Bank Studios in Highland, Indiana.
Yeah. Looks like Portage might get it back in pretty good field position.
With plenty of time left.
Hobart under 3 minutes, around the 2-minute mark. Oh, actually under 2 minutes. I'm surprised they didn't use a timeout right there unless they're feeling like they have to hold on to them to see how this drive goes. They're at their own 46. Roll out, throwing. Did he catch that? He slid. I believe it's incomplete. Yeah, so that's going to make it 3rd and 8 for Hobart.
Yeah, obviously 4th down territory. I think here you don't take your shot, get about 5 to 6 yards and make that 4th down a little bit more manageable on this.
The good part is about it being incomplete, at least, is it stops the clock, because it was ticking.
Yes, yeah. Keep that clock on your side.
9:04, plenty of clock left in this one.
Yeah, Portage at midfield, plenty of time.
I'm curious to see if Porter's going to go back to the option here. It looks like they did.
A little inside handoff.
Yeah, a little inside stretch to the outside.
Oh.
And he's still going. He never got him down. Got close to that first down mark, too, as well, actually. He was about 5 yards from that first down mark, and he kept his feet going.
Keep moving. That's why I love those feet. Just
yeah,
keep
you said that, Coach. That's exactly what you said.
Keep him chopping.
How do you get a player to buy into that, but keep the feet moving?
Tire drills.
Tire drills?
You know?
Yeah.
Jump rope.
Yeah, right.
Jumping rope is universally one of the best things an athlete can do, in my opinion.
The speed ladders, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like Hobart got the first down. Wow, so they're in Hanover territory with under 90 seconds to go.
Here's a big game real quick. Is the Elkhart over Penn, 7-3.
Wow.
Talking about a low score game.
Elkhart.
Penn lost. That's
Penn
the final.
lost.
That's the final.
7-3.
But Penn's they're a 6A.
Yeah, that's a powerhouse
Thorn in
school.
the side.
But from what I was told, Penn's also in the same sectional as Crown Point now.
That's what I'm saying.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And I believe they faced off for regionals last year.
Oh,
They always felt like they did.
Coach Bazia's got a long history with playing Penn in the postseason.
Yeah.
From his Portage days.
So Porter's got a first down. They really love that play.
Yeah,
they love the
that.
left side, don't
Yeah,
they?
they sure do.
Another score real quick is North Judson over Winamac, 48-6. You want to talk about as close as a lock as you can get to getting to Indy is North Judson, at the 1A level.
Yes, that team is remarkable.
They
They're
have
playing
dudes
very well
at the 1A level. Big
very, very
horses. Plymouth, River Forest over Hammond Knoll. We got that one. 35-0. River Forest over Hammond Knoll.
So that's a team. I was looking at their stats. They love the option, and they had Griffith on the ropes, but Griffith was able to step it up and win.
Yeah, late in that game. They were down going into half in that game.
That was really the first time where Griffith has been tested this year.
Yeah.
Yes, that was.
But River Forest, that's a sneaky team. That's a team you don't want to take an off week against because. But again, as we've said, if you run the ball, you're running the clock, and then they have a good defense, I would say, with some of the stats you've seen. But with that option, as we saw with Portage, a lot of these high school players have a hard time reading it.
And Coach Sheldago's done a great job
at
River. I mean, great. I mean, I'm happy for River Forest, but they need some consistency.
Yes.
You know, they needed a coach to stick around and be there. You know, so the kids can count on him, and he's been there, and he's really turned things around there.
And another update: 19-6 Lake Station late in the fourth over EC too as well. So, Lake Station is up 2 scores.
Wow,
on East Chicago.
Oh, there's a lot of flags right there.
Yes, there was.
And
a
late
Portage
hit?
guy hitting his head, so it seems like it might be going against Portage here.
Holding at the edge there. Man, that's got to come all the way back.
And we talk about, Phil Mason. That was Tommy Finn there. That was Tommy Finn's coach, Phil Mason. I actually played against him when he was in high school when he made that state run down to state. You talk about great players that Phil Mason has also coached too as well. Tommy Finn is one of those.
Great players make coaches look smart.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. And you're a great player when you're still on our Region Sports Network banner as well. 20 years. 20 years and still going strong.
Yeah. I think if your last name was Finn, you were doing pretty
well.
well.
You were pretty well.
You're pretty good. I think there was a Billy Finn, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's a good run.
Yeah, he was hugging the sidelines.
They're going to want another hold, or?
Yeah.
Is there a flag out there?
They want it.
They wanted it for sure. You talk about that Andrean team, though. That Andrean team was stacked. You had Finn, Kokel, Skinner, obviously the now Andrean coach.
Yeah, they were loaded.
And you had Ty Herringody. He played at IU as well. You talk about a team that was stacked. Wow, that team had a lot of talent.
And what year would have won state then? Was
04.
It was 04.
04.
Okay.
Well, during my days, it was that 04 year is when they went down with that team, with Phil Mason.
Did you ever have to go up against that Andrean team?
I did. They beat us in 4th and 26. One of the things that are burned in my brain. We were up against them in the sectional finals, and they went 4th and 26 and got it on us.
Wow.
And then they faked the extra point and got 2 and won the game by 1 point.
Wow.
Don't give it away.
We are back in the RSNZONE. We're at the Center Bank Studios. Angel Mile with Doug Nelson and Doug Ashenbaugh. And we've just been hanging out all night.
What
We've
a fun.
been here
It's fun.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
This is fun.
How long have we been in here? It feels like we've been here for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we've been here for quite some time, obviously. 3 hours almost.
Hey, there we go.
A lot of good football, a lot of good plays,
I'm
a lot
liking
of
it.
craziness. It's been fun.
2 hours, 36 minutes. We have the official count. But I'm liking what Mike Dewan, sports director of RSN, is starting to do. You got this going on, like a red zone sort of feel, and then went to Whiting yesterday, interviewed some other players, had college game day sort of.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
It's been fun. It's been a lot
really
of fun.
Yeah.
Just here talking ball.
What else would you rather be doing on a Friday night? Got college on Saturday, pros on Sunday.
Sunday, some college going on right now.
I believe I saw the stat that as of yesterday, there's 55 straight days of football.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
That couch is going to be in cave with me sitting watching ball.
Some playoff baseball's on.
And
dude.
It looks like Portage is setting up for a field goal here. And they just called a timeout on Michigan City.
Does Portage have a kicker?
They must.
We've seen a lot of missed extra points. I couldn't imagine a field goal.
That's a pretty decent length field goal.
Yeah.
Where were they at? Can the camera pan back to see where they're at?
They got to be within their 30s, right?
Yeah.
Right around there, looks like.
I mean, that drive has been going on for forever.
Yeah.
And you said that Michigan City took a timeout, but this clock's still running.
I see the clock running here.
That's
That must be off on theirs. But yes, there was a timeout after seeing that. And then
here we go.
Back. Okay. I'm sorry. That looked way farther than what it was. It is.
Well, it's still pretty good for high school.
About the 20-ish yard line.
Yeah, so
there's the 25. Yeah,
37-yard, 38-yard field goal.
Yeah, this is a long kick.
It's not bad for a high school kid.
So that was off. They're at 5:28, so there was a timeout. Snap the hold, the kick. Oh, it looks good. And it is good.
Wow, he had distance still to go.
Wow.
So been talking about field goal kickers all night. Portage's kicker comes in the clutch.
And that goes back about the 2.5 hours that we've been sitting here. Sometimes it comes down to your special teams to win you the game.
It does.
Little things.
9-7.
We thought the same thing at the same time on that. 9-7.
That is a drawn-out, ground-and-pound type football game, and you still got 5:14 to go.
You talk about the confidence that you still have in your kicker. You score a touchdown, you miss the extra point, and you say, you know what, the game on the line right now, I'm going to put you back out there, and he drills it.
That goes a long way.
Goes a very long way. Very long way.
And you got Coach Richards coach against his own team.
So what you're seeing
from the Michigan City Wolves
right now is what we're all seeing. So we had those 2 games, Calumet and Lake Central. They've gone final, so you don't see anything going on. But you see us in the bottom left. Somehow we have not broken the camera just yet with our features, but back on here. RSNZONE, just a second time, and after tonight, only 2 weeks left in the regular season.
Yeah. We're going to know sectionals next week, right?
Yep, the 13th.
We'll know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And you talked about the whole Penn Crown Point sectional thing. That's going to be interesting how that plays out. That 3A sectional you were talking about.
Yeah, the 6A gets a bye week.
Gets a bye week.
Do they?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll get a bye week.
Could you imagine if Crown Point and Penn had to play each other in week 1?
It's possible.
I don't think Crown Point's worried about it at all.
No. I don't think they're worried about much until maybe
that north.
I'm sure they are, but I'm sure, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm
Don't sleep on Penn, even though they lost tonight against Elkhart.
They're a solid team. They're a solid team.
Last thing you want to do is be that team that has to play them the next week.
Yeah.
The game has gone final, though. Hanover Central defeats Hobart.
At Hobart.
So if Hanover Central wins these next 2 weeks, they repeat as conference champions.
On their own, right?
On their own.
On their own.
Matt shared it. Yeah, that puts
champs.
And that puts Hanover Central at 6-1 and 5-0 on the year in their conference. Hobart the 4-3 and 4-1 in their conference. The only loss that HC has had all year was Bishop Chatard, who blew out Andrean tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, honestly though, this year seems to be the most where a lot of region teams are playing Chatard. Normally, you didn't see them travel as much in the past, and it's nice to see them start branching off and starting to see those teams early on in the season, knowing what you're going to be up against.
Yeah, that's your bullseye. You know?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
If nothing else, you know, you get your guys' attention.
It does.
You think you're big, big stuff. Let's go down there.
Let's go. Yeah, let's play them.
Guys.
And Michigan City here, I mean, in great field position with 4.5 left. I mean, again, we haven't seen much offense from them tonight, but got really good field position. With
better late than never at this point.
Hey, that's right. That's exactly it. And I guess if they got confidence, and hopefully they got a kicker on that side.
Yeah.
Because the field goal wins them the game.
Sure.
Yeah, they're already past the 50-yard line. Why do I feel like it's going to come down to a play where Michigan City maybe the clock is expiring to 3 zeros. They get tackled at the 1-yard line.
Because it's fitting for the game.
Yeah.
It's very fitting.
That's what
for
Coach
it.
Nelson's been saying the whole time.
Is he down?
It was
marking him down.
It was the other way. So the running, they faked to the running back and then tried to go outside with him.
But he was down though.
But he slipped, and he hit.
Wow.
Kind of there on the logo.
That's big.
Yeah, how many yards lost was
about
that?
7 yards, just about 6-7 yards they lost.
Last thing you want after you had a nice play to get a first down and get into Portage territory. Now you're back in your own.
Yeah, you wasted a timeout obviously on the field goal too. You only got 2, so time's ticking.
Yeah, you try to ice the kicker, and it did not work.
No.
That's a good confidence boost that the coach is throwing back out there. So take a shot.
He's open.
Take the shot. Was he in?
They saw
he was out of bounds.
Wow.
That was a big play there.
He got behind the defense. How do you let that happen?
Yeah, that could have been the play there to really spark the offense.
Yeah, he throws that more toward the middle of the field. He was past the secondary.
And usually Trent Hart is so accurate when he's throwing ball on the run, and he had the right guy. He made the right throw, but it was just a slightly off where he didn't get at least 1 foot in, and that's all you need in high school ball.
So 3rd down.
3rd and long.
Yeah,
this is 4th down territory.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I get it. You just beat them over the top. I still think you try to make this 4th down manageable.
Oh, sure.
Because at least we know that Michigan City has 2 timeouts. It could be less because they used the 1. Yeah, here we go. Kind of spreading them out right here. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right.
Well, he was going there the whole time.
The whole time. Looking that way the whole time, definitely.
The ball loose? No.
That didn't look like Trent Hart throwing the ball, though. It looked like a number 15.
I didn't
it was. It wasn't Trent Hart because Trent Hart just came back in.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's surprising.
That was only about a 2-yard gain too, as well. That's now it's a tough 4th down and not as manageable.
4th and forever.
4th and forever. Bad thing about that too is the time was ticking on that 2-yard gain.
Yeah. There's your timeout. There's that penalty.
Timeout looks like Portage.
What a game to close us out on this RSN zone. But 4th and what? We're going to guess 17?
Just about. Yeah, it's got to be.
What's it going to take to get that? Maybe with a nice little hook and ladder?
Well, no, you're looking for a flag, right? You could throw a little jump ball.
Yeah, jump ball. I think trying to beat him over the top. You saw some success. You maybe go back to it and say, hey, we got a chance. We can get over the top here.
Yeah.
So we have the Striking Van Til hometown scoreboard off to our right. That Hanover Central Hobart game has gone final. Lowell got the win 27-14. A lot of close games. A lot of games you're going to remember. Knox taking care of Jimtown 41-28. Jimtown made that game a lot closer than what it was when they were in the halftime. You had the Lake Station EC score, right, Doug?
Yeah, that was 19-6 late in the 4th. Lake Station was up. So I don't know if they've held on yet or not. I didn't get another update, but they were up late in the 4th.
It looks like Morton's going to take care of Hammond Central 42-14 there. Here we go, 4th and forever. Michigan City trying to keep this game alive. Hart rolling out, and does he have anywhere to go?
So he stepped out of bounds?
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds.
Oh, man.
You got to give your guy a chance there, right?
Yeah.
You got to throw the ball.
Tough. That's tough.
That's a penalty on Michigan City declined. 1st down, Portage.
Yeah, I mean, if you got 2 timeouts left, you still got a chance to get the ball back, but you're going to be deep. If you got less than that, that's ball
That almost
game.
feels like a Dan Orlovsky type play. Orlovsky with the Lions when they went 0-16, stepped out the back of the end zone for a safety.
Yeah.
Trenton Hart stepped out of bounds without giving his team an opportunity to draw a flag, maybe have the ball deflected in the air, bring it down. And Michigan City's offense is not going to produce any sort of points tonight. It's been their defense has scored that one pick six.
Yeah.
Well, that's good job defense by the Portage Indians.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah,
said,
absolutely.
they've been right there. Both of these teams have been right there all year.
Also, shout out to Portage for the all-black uniforms. I really like that.
Well, more importantly, with the red numbers so we can read them.
Yeah.
Those.
Nothing that drives me crazier when I find out a team is gold and white.
Yeah.
You will not see the numbers from a distance. I think that's number 2. Maybe not. If they get a first down, it's a done deal.
Yeah, there's their timeout.
There's their timeout, yeah.
So I think that at least puts
They
Michigan
must
City
have
down
2.
to 1.
Yeah, so they must have had 2 and got 1 left.
So this is the game. If Portage can draw out these, what about? They got 2-3 yards there.
Yeah.
These next 7-8 yards, they're gonna.
Yeah,
win
you
the
get a
ball
first
game.
down, you seal it.
Take a knee.
And for Portage, they won a conference game so far this year? No, they're 0-4 in conference.
Yeah, this will be the first one.
Yeah. Michigan City at 2-2 in conference play, in which Michigan City's lost to teams you would think they would lose to.
Yeah.
Maryville and Valpo. Been an interesting season for Michigan City. A couple of really close losses. They blow out Chesterton 20-0 when they still have their starting quarterback before he got hurt. And now tonight, it seemed like their old line struggled.
Yeah,
really
offense struggled tonight. Definitely
you
flat.
did not see any push in the trenches from the old line of Michigan City. Some motion going on right now. Oh, he's got a lane.
You gotta stay in bounds.
Stay in bounds.
There you go.
Yeah, you
That's
recognized
smart.
that and got down. This is going to be their final timeout here from Michigan City.
That's some good coaching right there.
Yeah, that was.
Get down.
Yeah.
It's a heady play. But again, the scoreboard's not going their way. I still think they could make some noise in sectional 10.
Yeah,
I agree.
They can be a factor in
do.
that game, in that section.
I definitely agree.
Michigan City.
I mean, especially the way their defense are playing too, as well.
Yeah.
Your defense keeps playing very well, and you get the offense going a little bit. I agree with you.
So right now the clock says 1:41. What are you telling your guys right now if you're Portage? You just need 2 yards and you
2
win
3
the
yards.
ball game.
Yeah. Homecoming.
Yeah. I mean that crowd, you can see they're getting energetic. Even that student section off to the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah.
Michigan City got their backs. I mean, this is 4th down territory, obviously.
Yeah,
and
they gotta
with 2
sell out.
yards, yeah, you got to sell out.
You got to bring the house.
I would think if you're
That's a long
Portage,
two, by the way.
Yeah, it is a long two. They look like they brought it back a little bit.
they love that play.
There
It's
it
going to
is.
pay
And
off.
That's going to get them there. That's going to seal the game right
That's
there.
a wrap.
Portage is going to win the ball game on their
All
homecoming
knees from
night.
here.
Take a knee.
Their first conference win of the year. This game was 0-0 at the half. Saw 16 points scored on the long rushing play from Portage, a pick 6, and it comes down to a field goal for the Indians.
Yeah. And shout out to Coach Roy Richards out there having trust. After a missed extra point, still have trust in your field goal kicker to send him out and get you the win.
Yeah, you have to. Again, that goes a long way.
It does, yeah. Yes. The confidence you put into your kicker, by doing that and showing that trust you had in him.
Are they going to run the ball again?
They might be.
It might
Oh!
be.
Little shocked to see a run versus a knee, but
And you ran it in the same direction of
Yeah.
Adrian Holly, which is a odd choice.
We don't know how accurate that time
Yeah, that's also
that
true.
is true. Yeah, you are right about
That
that.
clock has been
It's
all
been
over
running
the place.
and running and during timeouts and such, but
That is a good point.
they're doing a good job of maintaining the ball.
Yeah.
Right?
They're
not
no fumbles or nothing.
keeping that variable defense out there.
But that's one of their favorite plays has been that sort of end-around stretch play where
Yeah.
the wide receiver becomes in motion and they go that way and
On the
they
left
stack
side.
Up, they stack up a couple of guys on that side.
Yeah. They must like that line on the side. We saw, the games that we saw decent crowds.
Yes.
Yes, very
tonight.
good crowd.
We saw very competitive games.
Yeah.
For the most part.
We did. There was a lot of good games, a lot of competitive games tonight.
The Wheeler pulled away there at the end,
Yeah.
but Calumet competed.
Mm-hmm. The Hanover.
Hanover
game.
Hobart, that had to be an amazing crowd.
Yeah, that had to have been.
Yeah, again, it's just, we know that. Oh, jeez, I keep hitting that. We all know there's Crown Point, but I think that next group of teams, even beyond the Duneland, it's pretty solid.
It is.
I mean, you could almost say, Hanover's number 2 in the poll, and they're number 2 in our poll, right?
Yes.
For RSN, so they proved that's deep.
Well, with Valpo losing today and Griffith winning convincingly, that's going to move up Griffith.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Griffith moves up after today, and rightfully so. They've been playing very, very well. It's a very good team over there.
And then you got 6. Who was 6? I saw it just now.
That was Wheeler. And
Wheeler. Wheeler's going to move.
6.
Wheeler,
They'll move up probably to 5.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to. Do you put Wheeler ahead of Valpo?
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one.
That's when you run into that. We talk about that all the time during basketball. How much credit do you? Because if you put Valpo and Wheeler on the same field, what's going to happen?
I agree. I mean, same with Griffith, right? You put Valpo and Griffith on the same field.
Right.
Obviously.
Or they're taking a knee now.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That'll do it for the Indians.
Wow.
But that's kind of fun. That's what old guys do. Is sit
right.
Stuff,
right. Yeah. And you lost to number 3 Maryville on top of it. So I mean, it's a very good, solid team.
So that the old saying of strength of schedule comes into play.
Right. Exactly.
How you vote.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Portage's going to come away with this one. I mean,
that's a good
battle.
fun.
They duked it out, both of them, each other. I mean, what a exciting, non-exciting, I should say, kind of game, right? A lot of exciting defense, some big plays. Coach, that you said who's going to make the big plays going to win, and we saw it tonight.
And it just came down to one long run and an option, and then one field goal, and Portage is going to celebrate their first conference win.
Yeah.
Look at that crowd.
The kids are going to rush the field. They got to rush the field.
Yeah.
Get them out on the field. Get them out on the field.
Yeah. Open the gates. Let them flood in. But.
That's a pretty good jump from there to there. Huh?
Yeah, that is.
I'm a Portage grad. That's pretty high from there to there.
Wow, what a night for the second.
What a night.
RSN zone.
Yeah, I had a blast, guys.
Yeah,
I really had a lot of fun.
I know all 3 of us walked in like, what are we supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
But then it felt like natural. We just started talking football, and other than that, 3 hours flew out like that. So
that was it.
So, good to take a quick break here on RSN Zone. We'll come back, get some final thoughts, and then look at the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. And don't forget, we also have the Region Sports Network wrap-up show later on tonight. So don't go anywhere. You're watching RSN Zone here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
With
thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
We love home internet from T-Mobile. Oh, now Mesh boosts Wi-Fi all over your home. Taking a class in your attic, that dead spot is gone. Stream ballet in your man cave, learn to paint on your lawn.
It's glorious.
And now on the road, you can take T-Mobile Wi-Fi with you. Hey, stay connected and watch what you'll do.
Better Beef of Indiana. Hormone-free, locally raised, and locally processed beef. Better Beef of Indiana is located in Valpo at 2600 Beach Street, where you could buy individual cuts of beef completely raised in Hebron. From single pounds of ground beef to filet mignon, Better Beef of Indiana has it all. Visit their website at betterbeefindiana.com. Follow them on Facebook or call the owner, Kevin, directly at 219-508-5797. Better Beef of Indiana, where quality meets value.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Live from the Sincere Bank Studios in Highland, Indiana, we're in the offices of the Region Sports Network. Andrew Mile with Doug Nelson and Doug Ashenbaugh. We just watched a lot of good football games and saw a lot of good games being broadcasted on the Region Sports Network. Of course, if we're going to get the big one out of the way, it was Maryville and Valpo going up against one another. That turned into a blowout win for Maryville. We did not expect that. We thought that to be a lot closer. Teams that were ranked within the top 4 of the Ennigenberg Region Sports Network rankings. But Maryville was just simply the better team tonight.
Yeah, like I said it before the show. I said I think Maryville's they're rounding into shape. I think they're getting better as the season goes. They're getting healthier.
Yeah.
I think they're getting more complete as a team, and I think that they're going to be, if they can stay healthy, which is always a big if.
Yeah.
For all the teams, they can make a nice little jaunt down I-65.
I agree with you, Coach. I mean, I do. And, again, we talked about it. They were shuffling quarterbacks. They were shuffling running backs. Running back getting hurt. And now, like you said, getting healthy. The defense is following along, too, as well, playing very well with the offense. But once this offense gets rolling, we've seen it in the past, it's tough to beat Maryville when that happens.
So Maryville winning that game. And then we had Chesterton and Lake Central staying in the Dual Athletic Conference. That game was a good one. We thought maybe LC was about to pull away, get the easy win there against Chesterton. That's dealing with a lot of injuries. It was 16-3. Next thing you know, you blinked, and the Trojans came out of nowhere. They scored 2 touchdowns, and they won by 1 point, 17-16.
That's what happens when you stay in the fight at all times. We said it multiple times watching it here in the RSN zone. Stay in the fight because you never know what can happen. And I think they scored those 2 touchdowns probably within a few minutes of each other.
They were quick.
Yeah, honestly, they were very quick. So anything can happen very quickly, and that's what Chesterton did tonight. The defense obviously played very well, only giving up 16-2 as well. Offense, sluggish start, but as long as you stay in the fight, things are going to happen, and they're going to happen well for you.
Yeah, again, I think it's just another gritty effort from Chesterton. They've been doing that all year, and I would expect nothing less. And, it's one of those games you hate to see anybody lose.
Yeah.
Because we love Coach Koulianos from Lake Central, and he's doing a great job, but it takes time. But, what a nail-biter.
Well, another nail-biter that we saw here that wrap up RSN Zone tonight was Michigan City and Portage came down to a Portage field goal. They won a close one, 9-7. That game was fun to watch at the end.
Very fun to watch. And Coach over here, so I was talking about, hey, whoever makes the big play, we thought it was going to be Michigan City with the pick six and going up by 1 and missing the extra point. But Roy Richards said, no, I got all faith in you, kid. You go out there and drill this field goal for us and win us the game. And that's ultimately what came down to. And it was a thriller, a defensive thriller, I should say.
And you've had two teams, like we said, it's been knocking on the door all year.
Yes.
Been right there. A lot of their losses are by one possession. So it just went Portage's way tonight. And, again, it'll help get some momentum as we get closer to October 13th, that draw.
Yeah.
For being a Portage guy, winning that game in front of your homecoming crowd, being doing the athletic team, what does that mean for Portage going forward? Is this also their first conference win of the year?
Again, it makes for a funner week.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll carry it over. They have, what do they have left? I know they have LaPorte, and I think who else do they have? Maybe Valpo. Okay. And just keep that momentum going, and because we've talked about it, that Uncle Mo is big in high school sports. So it just gives you a purpose, and gives you a little boost.
We have one more other game on the Region Sports Network tonight. It was Wheeler and Calumet. Calumet went up 8-0, and then that's the only time that they would lead for the rest of the time as the Wheeler Bearcats blew them out 43-8. We had a running clock in the fourth quarter, but that's what makes Wheeler really good. They made those adjustments, and they were simply the better team from that touchdown on.
They were. Again, adjustments are key when you go into the halftime. The adrenaline's pumping. You guys are out, the energy's there, and then when that fades off, that's kind of when you see who made those adjustments and who's executing very well, and that's what Wheeler did tonight. Obviously on the ground, too, as well. A little bit different than the passing game is what they had, but Ortiz, on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns. Maybe, did he have 4? I'm not sure.
It was close. I think he had 3, maybe one more went to another running back of theirs that came in late.
Okay, yeah, but either way, that a lot of trust in that. You're able to control the clock, keep it on your side, and the defense played very well in the second half.
Yeah, you got a nice little two-headed monster back there with Klimzak and Ortiz, but that makes it hard for the defense to key on one thing. But I think, again, they're rolling in the right direction. I think that's 5 wins in a row, or 4 or 5 for them now. So keep the ball rolling if you're a Bearcat fan.
That might be one of the best backfields you're going to find in the region.
Yeah.
Wheeler, and put them up against any other ones, it's going to be close, but they have a lot of offensive production from back there. 2 blowout games we're not going to cover, but we'll just bring it to you. Griffith, they won 42-0. Crown Point won by the same score. But 2 other big games that we saw tonight. Of course, we got to talk about Hanover Central and Hobart. That game meant a lot to their conference. And Hobart, credit to them, they were down 14-0. They rallied back. They tied it. Then Hanover punched it in one more time, had a defensive stand, and Hanover Central's 2 wins away from repeating as conference champions.
And that game could have gone either way. Honestly, Hobart had their chances too as well. They were able to get a pick in the red zone, in their end zone, brought it back out. Unfortunately, just couldn't capitalize on those turnovers there, and ultimately giving it up. A touchdown to go down. But Hobart had their chances. They were in the game. They played very well. Obviously, we're seeing the Willie Shear effect on Hobart. I've said it earlier of what that spark brings for this team. And again, this is a Hobart Brickies that started off a little slow, had some injuries, staying healthy like Coach has been talking about all night here. As long as you can stay healthy, they're going in the right direction, though, and they're propelling. Obviously, on the other side, Hanover's been playing very well offensively and defensively. They got a lot of power on that offense that can score at any given time. So, they're going to probably stay at number 2 with their big win that they've had. But again, that could have gone either way tonight.
Again, it doesn't get any easier next week. Hanover's got Andrea next week.
Yeah,
so,
wow. That's
you know what I mean?
Yes.
A little double dip there. So that'll be another game of the night candidate. But congrats to both teams. I think again for Hanover Central to beat Hobart at Hobart is not an easy place to play.
No,
I'm sure the crowd, like we said, was huge. So again, congrats. They're a couple games away from another sole championship of their conference. So it's not easy.
No, right. Not at all.
Then one more game I wanted to talk about before we wrap it up here on the RSN Zone. KV and Lowell. That was a good game. It was back and forth, but then Lowell finally established the run game, had a 40-yard rushing touchdown, and that was the nail in the coffin. They won 27-14 to get a conference win.
Normally, we talk about this every year. You don't want to play Lowell after week 4, right?
Yeah.
Is normally what we talk about. Maybe they're getting a little slow start here, but you're right. They're starting to find that run game. A lot of passing early on in the season. And, if Lowell does catch fire with this run game and they can start hitting that ground and pound like they're normal too, they're going to be a tough team that's going to beat, in coming up in the playoffs. And you never want to play Lowell at the end of the season. Scratch the regular season out of the way. When sectionals hit, Lowell's the team. When you see them and you draw them, you're like, we got to prepare. Yeah. And if they can build off of this and continue that momentum that they've gone through and continue the success, they have a shot over there in that sectional, and they're going to be tough.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that's like death taxes, and Lowell's going to be okay by the end of the year. But
all things guaranteed in life.
Yep, yeah. But that's a sectional 17's a brutal sectional though, with Hanover and Hobart and them and New Prairie and Kankakee Valley again possibly. So
might be one of the toughest ones.
Yeah, and it's deep.
Yeah.
It can't be like you're hoping for a good draw, of course, but not too many good draws there.
Yeah,
right. So congrats, and again, it had to be a fun night with Kirk Kennedy coming back. So congrats to the Lowell Red Devils.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to get out of this chair and go walk around. We've been sitting here for 3 hours, so that's going to be it here on the RSN Zone, the second edition, and it was fun.
A lot of fun.
I had a great time.
I'm looking forward to doing this again in the future, but I know we only got a few weeks left of the regular season. Sectionals coming up. Selection Saturday is next week, but stick around here on the Region Sports Network. We'll have the wrap-up show that is the usually scheduled program in about half an hour that will talk about every game that happened on in the region and even some outside of the market. So for my partners Doug Aschenbaugh and Doug Nelson, I've been Andrew Mile. This has been the RSN Zone. Big shout out to Justin Cole over here. He's been sitting in the chair as long as we have, and he's been switching it back and forth for you guys. You did a great job, Justin. We'll see you at the Region Sports Network wrap-up show.